Oh, hey, Aiden.
Yeah.
I still don't see you in roll 20. Are you having trouble, or do you need me to come help you?
Hold on, just trying to.
Also, Aiden, turn your if you're not using headphones, turn your speakers down just a little bit. So, Kyle, I decided just to not use the web or the Roll20 web chat stuff at all right now because it's not working. That's what was causing my problems the other night with my PC freaking out.
Oh, how did you figure it out?
Testing. You know.
Oh, okay.
Just looking at Task Manager and seeing what was hogging the CPU. You know. Well, I'll be right back.
I think so. Thing one, thing two.
Walter. Lay down, big boy.
All right, so let's just do a little recap, shall we?
All right.
I'm starting to feel colder already.
Good thing you guys are dressed warm.
We look like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yes.
We're like Ralphie's brother on the Christmas Story.
Can't move my arms!
Exactly. I try to go for my shotgun. You can't!
So, the story so far, per se. Jennings, Vermont is a town of a few hundred people tucked into the hills not far from Jennings Notch, where lies the fork of the Windham River. Its buildings are prim and well prepared, but they are small and old. Jennings is not prosperous and has not had a burst of prosperity since the Civil War. Harbor Foster, as the news director at the New York Herald newspaper, has recently learned that an old college buddy of his, Bartley Hodges, has gone missing. Bartley and Harbor are very close friends, having roomed together for several years while attending New York University. Bartley has worked as a news correspondent for the Brattleboro Tatler for several years. And the Tatler is a small local newspaper in Jennings. Recent stories appearing in the Tatler have been picked up by the New York dailies, and they concern strange noises and lights seen around Jennings, as well as the latest story telling of the disappearance of Bartley Hodges. Suspecting suspicious activity, Harbor decides to drive to Vermont and inspect the situation. He hopes to find out what happened to his missing friend. And Dad tagged along.
I love them woods. Got to get back into those trees that I so dearly love cutting down.
Yeah, Cosmos is a bit of a woodsman, being a lumberjack, of course.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on one second.
Did you say you were going to record this one?
Yeah, I am.
Awesome. I think Lee was itching to hear the play. He was I was like, well, I think you could probably log on if you wanted, but I think he's too busy to do
So
that.
when you guys arrived in Jennings, you found yourself at the local restaurant. It's kind of like a diner, a country version of a diner, and had some breakfast. And you met some people. You met the man, John McLaren, the farmer, who struck up a conversation with you guys and told you about some of the myths and legends of the woods and the mountain in particular. Let's look at these handouts real quick. Just for the sake of recap, since it's been a month since we played. You know?
Yes, some recapping is important.
Yeah, some of the tales and legends of the local forests around here, and especially Strafton Mountain, which is where these nighttime fires have been occurring up on the east face of the mountain. And McLaren agreed or offered to rent you guys some horses to head up to Harney Ruger's place. And remember, these guys were talking about Harney Ruger too, and how he's just this crazy old hermit guy who lives up near the mountain.
Confirmed.
Yeah. And then you guys remember what happened when you would see Harney.
Yeah.
Cosmos was lurking around outside, hiding in the trees.
Made some amazing rolls.
Mm-hmm.
The best rolls so far.
So then you guys wound up taking a daytime trip up Strafton Mountain. In the, below zero temperatures even in the daytime out here. Seems to be even colder out here than in Jennings. Much colder. And I believe you guys climbed almost to the summit of the mountain, and on a rocky precipice on the side of the mountain you found a ring of stone monoliths. These gigantic kind of standing stones in this circle up there, with evidence of fire. So you've located apparently where these fires burn up here at night. Other than that, you really didn't find much of anything here in the wind and the snow. And then it began, if I recall, it began getting very, very cold, and you guys had decided to go back down the mountain to rest, or try to get warm, right?
Mm-hmm.
True. Yep.
Then this happened.
Well, didn't we end up I think Harbor actually had to make like a survival roll for us, which Cosmo actually missed, so he made another amazing roll there.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think you guys decided to try to stay up there. I guess until,
I don't
until
think
nighttime.
we could get down.
Yeah,
we did decide to stay up there. You're right, we did.
But then you decided against it. I think.
But it was too late.
Yeah.
And then I witnessed one of the things, and
But yeah, I think that was the following day.
You began hearing the droning buzz of these things.
Oh, it was at night, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
coming from above, up on the mountain, coming down at you. I don't think it was night though. I think we're looking at like late afternoon at this point. You guys are working your way back down the mountain.
Yep.
All right, so let's do this.
And Harbor went into full berserker mode.
Well, he missed a sanity check,
Right.
which resulted in some odd behavior. We'll get to that here in a second. It's up there. So as I said, if you look at the chat log here, in the chat window, and scroll up a little bit, after seeing this thing, and very quickly thereafter, another coming up over the ridge to your left, Harbor, your mind kind of snaps, and you get this feeling of terror. You dismount your horse, take out your shotgun to try to protect yourself from this thing that's flying towards you. So it says you quickly bring to bear his double-barrel shotgun on the strange winged creature 75 feet away. His feet slip on the ice and his eyes are wide with terror. It's a thing not of this world. Cosmo Foster tries desperately to get his horse under control. It stamps its hooves nervously and its screams fill the clear mountain air. So, Harbor, you guys have the turn order window up on your screen on the left there?
Yes.
The initiative window.
Hey, do you see it?
So Harbor, you're going to get to do something on initiative 75. Now here's the thing. The top left of your screen on the toolbar, there's a ruler tool, and you can use that to gauge range. Click and drag on the screen. So it should be fairly accurate here. That one's about 80 feet away. And remember, Alt mouse wheel works really good for scrolling, and right-click drag on the screen is good for dragging the screen around. You have to have the select move, the arrow thing selected at the very top, though. So a common mistake is you click on a ruler and you leave it on there, and then you can't click on any tokens or anything. You have to use the select tool at the very top there, the little arrow icon. It's a little mini tutorial there. But anyway, the ruler's accurate. This one's still about 90 feet away from you, Cosmo. But you are technically, Harbor, you're temporarily insane. And so that gives me control of your character for a moment.
Oh.
Harbor lets loose one barrel at this thing on here, okay? So roll firearms from your character sheet. It's a firearms R/S, which is firearms rifle shotgun. And that's going to be, I believe, extreme range for a shotgun, so you're going to get 2 penalty dice.
Hold on.
See, if you had your wits about you, you would have waited till it got closer, but you don't. You know?
Yes. Your wits have done left you, boy.
Yes, and Cosmo's screaming, Harbor! Harbor, run! And there's this buzzing that's kind of echoing, throughout the mountainside here as these things get closer. Your vision begins to kind of get blurry. The buzzing's making you feel a little strange.
Hold on. Where do I go for?
All right, so if you open up your character sheet and click on the middle tab, character sheet, it says bio and info, which is one tab, and then there's a character sheet tab, and the attributes tab you never have to worry about. Scroll down to your investigator skills field on your character sheet, and it'll be alphabetically under F. It says firearms RS. And that's your firearms rifle shotgun skill. And go ahead.
I don't have that skill.
Well, you can try to hit it though. Click the gray button next to it there to roll the dice.
Oh.
And you've got 2 penalty dice at this range. So what we're looking at the -2 entry at the bottom, just 2 penalty dice.
Fail.
Yeah, that shot goes way wide up the mountain. Next up is going to be this thing down here. Cosmo, you've got your eyeballs on this thing. You spot it as well. There is a second one approaching. Cosmo, your horse is getting a little unruly.
Okay.
It gets to move 40 feet, roughly. Cosmo, as this thing gets closer to you, you notice a glint of a metal object in one of its pinchers or claws or whatever they are. It seems to be holding some glinting metal object. Kind of looks like a baton or a tool or something that it's got in its hand.
That can't be good. They can use tools!
This one also is going to move up. This one quickly flies over the little ledge there, coming across the dry riverbed right at you, Cosmo.
Okay.
Cosmo, on your turn, I'm going
Yes.
to need you to make a ride check.
All
Stay
right.
on your horse. It's trying to buck you right now. It looks like it's going to bolt.
I was trying to get. I was gonna get off of it. I think.
Well,
Oh
too late
shit.
for that. The only way to get off probably is to fall off.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't break anything. So, gray dice or green?
Green's fine. All right,
I don't make
Cosmo,
it.
your horse bucks you, man, and you fall face down into the snow.
Okay.
You're unharmed. The snow kind of breaks your fall. This horse,
Yay.
bolts.
Okay.
Harbor, your horse bolts. It runs off down the mountain out of sight. Okay. Now, Cosmo, it's your turn.
Can I bring my gun to bear on one of these things?
Sure. Yeah, you had it in your hands. You kind of
Yep.
kind of landed on the ground next to you, so you can pick it up, stand up.
All right. I pick it up and I I shoot the one that looks like it's coming towards me the most.
All right.
Can I even tell?
One thing you do notice, Kyle, is that this one down here
Yep.
is a little larger than the other one. They're both they're both flying about 30 feet above the ground towards you.
Okay, I'll shoot thing one.
All right, it's a rifle skill.
Oh!
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 60 and I have a 50, so I miss.
Okay.
Or 55 actually. Pretty close.
All right, so let's just look at the rifle real quick here, because I believe since you have over a 50% in the skill, you might be able to get another shot off. It says number of attacks 1.
Yes.
Let me double check the table for that,
Okay.
just to make sure. All right, let's see. Like a 30-30. Yeah, it's one round, probably because you have to cock it, you know.
Yeah, it's a lever action, so.
All right, so Harbor, we're back to you. You've kind of regained control of your senses a little bit at this point, so I'll let you act, even though you've gone slightly mad.
All right, I'm gonna.
Your horse, Paco, your horse is gone. It's gone.
Oh my! All right. I'll try to use my .38 automatic. I do have that skill.
All right, pulling out your handgun.
All right.
All right, you're in short range for that. That's good.
Get him, boy.
I want to roll the green dice.
Okay. So now with a 38, you've got a 25% chance to hit.
Ooh.
You can take another shot with a penalty die. But that's not enough to jam it or malfunction. Revolver's pretty
Take another shot, man. You did 9 points of damage to it. That's good.
Yeah, this time click the gray button. There you go. So at -1, it's -1 penalty die. Fail. You can take a third shot with 2 penalty dice.
Oh.
I mean, you might as well, dude.
That'll give you three rounds left in your gun.
This thing's gonna. Well, I don't know. Up to you, Aiden. He said yes.
All right. Do it again.
Well, I think you can only take 3 shots.
Yeah, that's all you can get with the revolver. So the sound of gunfire, just the cracking shots of the handgun, sort of pow, pow, pow. Okay.
Oh, Aiden, didn't you have a jar of acid on you?
Oh! I remember now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when this thing gets on top of you, it might be a good time to remember that. Anyways.
I fire at the thing too.
Wait, it's their turn, buddy.
I'll allow you to move if you want. You can move about 20 feet or so if you want to reposition yourself somewhere. There's a big tree right behind you.
I'll try and move back.
Okay. Move back just like a couple inches on the screen. There you go. All right, this thing, as it nears you, Cosmo, it seems to be, as I said, it's kind of a pinkish red looking crab with wings, like membranous wings like a bat has.
Okay.
And it has numerous appendages, most of them ending with claws or pinchers like a crab. Covering its body is this sort of coat of green looking slime. It's actually dripping off the back of it as it's flying at you.
It's totally gross.
All
right.
And it comes up to you.
It's real.
And it says, I just want to be a friend of yours. Hand me a flower.
Before you know it, Kyle, it's on you.
Oh.
And it's grabbing at your arm, one of your arms.
Not my axe swinging arm. It served me
with
so
its
well.
pincer. He's got a 45 fighting.
Can
So
I
now,
dodge?
Yeah, so now you can choose to fight back or dodge, or do a maneuver. Maneuver being anything but attack or dodge. You know?
I'm gonna fight back.
Okay, roll your fight brawl skill. It gets a regular success.
Ooh.
Well, it looks like you got an extreme success. I got a regular success.
Oh, I did. We must roll at the same time.
We did. I liked what you were saying, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's not gonna be good for me. Clamps down on my arm for you.
You feel like these sharp teeth that are in the pinchers, pierce into your flesh. Give me a dex roll, please. A dex check. See if you can hang on to your gun. As this thing grabs you.
Oh.
The gun drops down into the snow.
Damn.
It attacks you again, Kyle, with another pincher.
All right. Well, my best die roll chance is to fight back. So.
All right, let's do it. Roll off. It fails. All you gotta do is succeed. Oh, he gets extreme success.
Yeah!
Normally in fighting and brawling, that would be a critical hit, basically. But since you're fighting back, it's regular damage.
Bang.
Okay,
What do I need to roll?
It's 1d3 for just unarmed. What are you doing? Punching it in the face?
Yeah, man.
Or what looks like its face? Its head just is like this. It looks like a sea creature, like a sea urchin with these short pink worm-like tentacles coming out of its entire head.
Yay!
Nice. All right, you hear this squishy sound as your fist plows into its head.
Oh!
These things are just damn gross.
This one moves over here nearby you. It's flying past you, Cosmo. Looks like it's going after Harbor. Harbor, as you, before we get to you, Cosmo, Harbor, as you back up underneath this tree, you look back behind you, kind of down the mountain. You see your horse not too far away. And then you hear the buzzing sound begin to intensify, and you turn, you see this other thing number one, coming towards you, holding something metal in one of its pinchers. And suddenly you see emitting from this thing that it's holding in its pincher a sort of gray, sparkling fog in this direction towards your horse. It's emitting like this, almost like a cone of mist towards your horse. And it looks like it's sparkling in the sunlight, almost like it's ice crystals or something, Cosmo, you're up.
What the hell is
All right, I grab my axe that's on my belt and whack away at this thing.
Okay. With a terrified scream, no doubt.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like, you're gross.
All right, let's see. See what they have for dodge. Dodge isn't too bad. He's going to try to dodge this.
Yeah, I failed.
Okay.
I'm too panicked.
All right,
He's
any movement?
just too gross.
You can move about 20 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna move.
Which is,
I'm gonna move over on this, over this way.
All right, so you turn and sprint towards the tree. Go ahead. All right, Harbor, we're back to you.
All right.
You think you're
I
seeing
want to
things.
use my
Hey,
flask.
Aiden, you kind of think you're seeing things as you watch this thing flying at you. You get this dreamlike feeling, kind of all of a sudden overwhelms you, and you're not sure. Kind of starts thinking this is just got to be a dream. You mutter to yourself under your breath, "This has got to be a dream." You know.
This gotta be a dream. This gotta be a dream.
You see your dad running over towards you.
It's not a dream. Fight them.
He like trips, and falls into the snow and scrambles back up, and he's running towards you.
Can I like shoot at the
You have
thing one's whatever thing one's holding?
yeah, like a called shot kind of thing. It'd be hard, dude. It'd be very hard.
I'll do it.
All right, that's a bold move. So you've got 3 shots left in your pistol. You've got 1 shot left in your shotgun.
Please. Oh.
All right, the shotgun goes off. Boom! Fail. So you kind of drop your shotgun. Doesn't have any more shells in it, right? And then you bring up your 38 and you're trying to aim it at this thing. As I said, these things are dripping this green goo all over the white snow. Cosmo, this thing's on you again.
All right, man. You came back for more? All right. I'm going to give it to you.
I need to keep this sheet up. Hang on a second. Drag that over here.
Oh, wait. Let me subtract those 2 points I took.
Oh, yeah, please. You can do it right from your token if you want.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, I was already in my sheet, but I was preparing to roll to fight back.
All right, so this thing is attacking you with one of its many pinchers.
All right.
The pincher itself is like the size of your head.
Oh, God. All right, I'm gonna keep
fighting back.
Okay, I'm gonna fight back.
All right, he wins on a tie.
Oh,
ouch!
That's more than half my hit points.
Ouch.
I gotta make a Constitution check, don't I?
Yeah, check major wound and make a con check.
All right, I'm still. Oh my God! I rolled on the number.
Whew, stay Harbor, to your horror, your dad's running towards you. He's got this look of horror on his face as you see the thing flying up behind him, and it grabs him by the back of his neck.
Oh Jesus!
And he starts, and your dad starts screaming bloody murder, and the thing attacks him with another claw.
What fails?
This one moves up towards your horse, which is kind of on the edge of the map, Aiden. You see this cloud of sparkling fog engulf your horse, and you hear the screams of the horse for a moment, and then silence as this thing turns towards you. Cosmo, it's your turn. This thing has got you on the ground. You're face down on the ground, and it's trying to essentially decapitate you with its pincher.
Okay. What can I do? Can I fight with my axe still, or no?
Well, you can fight, brawl. You can fight with the axe. You can fight.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to strike it with my axe.
Okay.
He's gonna die how I live, cutting stuff down.
Oh.
Yeah. It'll try to dodge.
Nice.
All right. All those years in the woods cutting down trees is paying off.
Finally paying.
It might just save your life.
I hope so. Let's see.
Oh, damage for that's 5. I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to roll damage. I forgot that it actually, if you roll
It rolls for me.
Yeah. From the weapon table.
It gave 5.
How much health does these things have?
Infinite.
We're about to find out. It's taken 8 for me.
Okay. You sink your axe. You aim for its head because it's right on you. So you kind of half turn and swing the axe towards its neck, and the axe bites deeply into its flesh. However, you notice that this greenish slime shit that it's covered with coalesces almost instantaneously where your axe strikes, sort of deflecting the blow a bit.
Interesting.
Harbor, it's your turn.
So is the thing still up, or?
Yes.
Wow. All right.
All right, I'm going to try to save my father.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to move up towards it and throw the flask of acid at it.
Sweet. Give me a, well, since you're that close, give me a fighting brawl check, I believe. How are you at that? Let's check it out here. You got a 35 in that. His throw is 20. Make a fighting brawl check to try to hit him with this acid.
I'm going to do a green one.
Yeah. Roll your luck. Actually, Cosmo, you roll your luck too.
Okay.
Fail.
Actually, here's what I suggest.
Oh, look at this extreme success. It's coming towards me, and I bat it straight at the monster.
Here's what I suggest, Aiden.
Yeah?
So on your fighting brawl roll, you rolled a 43. You needed a 35. Here's what I would suggest using 8 luck points to make that fighting brawl check a success instead of a failure. You can spend luck like that. You can spend luck points 1 for 1 to increase your skill rolls.
Spend the luck.
Normally not in combat, but I'm going to make an exception since this is kind of a throw fight, roll.
And I made an extreme success on my luck roll.
Yeah, that's good.
See?
So what that would mean, just so you know, if you miss with this, there's a chance of one of you taking acid damage, which since you failed your luck, since you failed your luck roll, Harbor would probably take some acid damage in sort of a half comical way, like he's kind of tripping through the snow trying to pull out this flask, and maybe he falls on top of it or something. I don't know. But I would suggest spending the 8 luck points. Just take 8 luck points off your sheet, and that way you'll hit it with the acid. That's what luck's for, Normally you can't use in combat, but I'm making this more or less kind of a throw roll without making you roll throw because it's so close.
8 points.
Yeah, did we determine how much damage that acid does?
I don't think we did.
Okay. Roll a d8.
8. Just one?
Just one.
No modifiers?
No. Nice.
Bang, dude.
So Harbor, you pull out the acid and you're trying to unstop it. Okay, your dad's screaming on the ground over there. This thing's on top of him. You drop your pistol for one, so you can unscrew this cap. And then you chuck it at the thing. It hits it, and the acid kind of seeps out of the bottle. Just really not even a big amount. And the thing begins shrieking as this black smoke begins coming off of it. And it's let go of your father, and it's kind of writhing and twitching around on the ground next to him. It kind of falls to the snow. Its wings are flapping, trying to stay airborne, but it's down in the snow now.
Go kill it.
Then you hear the buzzing behind you.
Oh,
And this thing is flailing its pincers at you, Harbor. So now you have a choice. With the first pincer, you can either fight back, or you can attempt to dodge. Or something else.
I'm gonna fight back.
Okay, so roll your fighting brawl skill. It gets a success. And you fail.
Oh,
Oh, it buries its pincers down into your arm
Whew,
for
thank
1
God
damage. And the second pincher. Same thing, fight back.
yep. Hold on.
It gets a success.
Come on.
These things are rolling good.
Oh,
Ugh.
Oh, dang.
For 5 more. So now you're screaming. Cosmo.
This is like.
It's chaos. Cosmo, the one that was on top of you is on the snow next to you, just kind of twitching. It looks like it's being burned up by acid. There's black smoke coming off of it.
kill it. And
Okay, is it?
It's incapacitated more or less right now. It's screaming in pain.
Does it have any like devices or anything on it? I notice.
Not that you can see. It's just covered in this strange web of slime.
For Pete's sake, come save me!
All right, I run over.
Yeah, this thing's about to murder your son over here.
No, I was gonna do that. I was just looking to see if it had like a magical dagger on it. I was gonna pick it up and drive into the thing's head, but I'm just gonna take my.
It's got a cell phone.
I throw the.
I post some embarrassing remarks from it online. Okay, so I come over and I get away from my son, you son of a bitch.
And this one's quite a bit bigger. It kind of rears up away from Harbor as you approach it.
Good. I drive my axe straight into its weird, slimy green crotch.
All right, it's gonna try to dodge. It fails its dodge roll. By 2.
Come on.
Whoa! An 0-1. All right, dude. So that means you do your maximum damage, plus you get to roll your damage on top of that.
Okay, so max damage is 7.
Plus 5 is what you rolled.
Plus 5, yeah, so 12 points of damage.
Oh.
All right. As your axe connects, once again, it's a headshot. You know, you're aiming for its head. But this green web of slime coalesces and oozes almost instantaneously on the point of impact of your axe, deflecting the blow. However, you do see this bluish black blood flowing from the head of the thing now, as it screams at you. So at this moment, you hear a gunshot coming from over here in this direction. You see this rock over here?
Mm-hmm.
You hear this gunshot. And, oops.
Ooh.
You see a man on horseback with a rifle over here on this rock. And he's got his rifle pointed at you guys, and he just took a shot in that general direction. You recognize him as John McLaren, the farmer that you guys met in Jennings. Cosmo, it's going to be your turn, or actually you just went, so we'll go back to Harbor at the top of the order here.
Then I punch Thing 1 in the face.
Yes.
Do you still have 3 bullets left in your pistol?
No, but I dropped it.
Yeah, you could pick it up though. It's sitting right there.
Pick it up and shoot it, man.
I picked it up and aimed it right in front of it, right
Point blank.
in its face.
Yeah, you get a bonus die for that. So your first shot's going to have a bonus die. So click the gray button next to firearm handgun. Ooh, even with the bonus die, it's a fail.
Oh.
So your second shot would just be a regular roll at 0 with no penalty or no bonus.
How did this happen?
So roll for your second shot.
Come on.
You only have a 25, so. Oh shit. Oh shit. What's the malfunction on that? 99. All right, with the fumble, the gun comes out of your hand again, Harbor.
Oh.
It's got 1 bullet left in it. It falls down into the snow, like into the snow bank next to you, and you don't see it.
Damn.
All right, guys. This thing is bleeding profusely from its head. It's got this black blood coming out of it. It takes off and starts buzzing off in this direction, away from you.
Yay!
But it's going after John.
Well, he's got a rifle and a full set of hit points, so...
Up.
I dropped my computer.
Don't do that.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Thing 1. Yep.
Yep.
All right, Cosmo, we're back to you at the end of the round here.
Was this thing 2 still writhing around?
Yes, and it seems to be, it's the fleshy parts of it. I mean, there's like crustaceous parts of it, but there's also fleshy. The fleshy parts of it start melting into this blackish blue ooze. It's still now. It's no longer twitching or flapping its wings. Appears to be
It is dead.
dead. Maybe?
Hard to say. Can I run to thing? Oh, can I go get my rifle
Yeah.
and shoot at thing 1?
Let's see. You dropped your rifle somewhere down here, right? Yeah. I'll let you run up to and pick up your rifle as your turn.
Say what now, Sean? Hold on, my daughter. Hey,
That's okay.
Ella, hang tight here for just a second, okay? I'm going to answer your question, but Sean was talking to me. So
you can run over and pick up your rifle. That's what
okay,
you do.
cool. Let me go turn the oven on preheat to 425. Yeah, but go turn the oven on preheat to 425, okay?
All right, old John's got his 30-30 over here. He's gonna take a shot. Let's see, what's he got with that?
Boom, 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 boom. Oh!
Nice.
All right, let's see if this thing can jump for cover here with a dodge. Oh.
Yeah.
He dodges it.
Regular success? I guess it's not the same as
Yeah, remember dodging
fight back, right?
dodging wins on ties. Yeah. Harbor, we're back to you.
All right. I tried to chase thing 1.
All right, you can move about 20 feet. You can only move out to about here. Yeah, that's about right. So you're about what? 18 feet, 15 feet away from it right now. Your gun's lost in the snow.
Can I check if the thing one still has it as whatever object?
Sure, roll me a spot hidden.
Hidden. Ah!
You can't tell from this angle. It's kind of hard to tell through the wind and snow. See, let me get rid of him. All right. Suddenly, you see it. You see the glint of metal, Harbor and Cosmo, both of you. As it extends it kind of out in front of itself, this sparkling mist begins to project from this baton or whatever it's holding towards John McLaren.
No!
Run, John! I scream.
The mist engulfs John and his horse.
No!
Cosmo, you're up.
All right, man. I'll crack a round off at the beastie.
Okay. That's definitely like point blank for a rifle, about 20 feet, so you get a bonus die with your first shot. Well,
Okay.
First and only shot, I suppose.
So roll the gray dice.
Gray, yes.
Oh.
That's an impale. So you do max damage plus the damage rolled, Kyle.
Okay, so he takes let's see, 12 plus 11, 23 points of damage.
Hell yeah!
Dude, I've got it out for this guy. He should have never touched my son.
Interestingly, and you're not going to like this, Kyle, your bullet seems to have almost no effect on it. You're absolutely certain that you hit it. Another headshot, you know? And you think you see the bullet impact, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on it. Maybe the bullet went through it or something.
Gotta go hand to hand with this thing, man. A technical question here.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still get to mark off my firearms?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
you can check the skill, yeah. All right. You see John on his horse riding up this way towards the crest of the riverbed there. Moving out of the fog. Harbor, it's your turn.
All right.
Followed by thing one.
I move up.
All right.
Pepper him too.
He's pissed. What are you going to do, Harbor?
Kick him in his lobster nuts.
Yeah, it's only about 10 feet off the ground. I mean...
Oh.
Can I check around just to see if I can see a gun?
Sure. Roll spot hidden. Again. Nice.
Wow.
Go ahead and check spot hidden. Check the skill in the checkbox. You don't see a gun, Harbor, but you spot Cosmos's horse over here behind this tree in this rock area.
Oh no!
See him over here?
Oh no!
This Cosmos's horse is kind of lurking over there, but you don't see any guns. You do see a shotgun, the saddle holster on the horse.
Can I daze thing one at all?
He's kind of out of your reach. He's flying up in the air. You don't really have anything to throw at him, do you? I don't know. Let me see what you got.
Also, in that spot check, can I check if there's any like rocks or something?
Oh, a rock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the thing that you want to roll luck for. That's what luck is for, is to find that rock to throw at something. So make a luck check.
I'm gonna throw 3 bear traps at it.
Yeah.
Throw the bear trap. It will work.
No,
Oh.
no, not in the immediate vicinity. There's no rocks or anything.
Ugh.
All right, is that where you're gonna end up? Right next to this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. It turns.
Oh no.
And let me look at this for a second. You see
Get out of there,
you see
Walter.
you see the
Walter,
glint
get out
of
of there.
metal, and it's clawing. It's using this. Now that you have a closer look at it, Harbor, it looks almost like an icicle that it's holding, but it's definitely metallic because it's like glinting in the sunlight. And this sparkly mist begins projecting out at you and Cosmo.
Oh no.
I just need to. Oh, here it is. I think you guys get to roll something here. Okay. This is pretty terrifying, guys. The game could end right here.
It could.
So here's what I want you to do. Basically, this thing, it's like a cold, freezing cold mist coming at you. Now, both of you guys are wearing Arctic clothing, which is a good thing.
Thank God.
Basically, this thing does 1d10 damage when it hits you. But since you have Arctic clothing, it's gonna be 1d10 minus 3. So I need each of you to roll 1d10 minus 3 and take that many hit points.
Oh shit. Can I
Roll low. That's what you can do. Is you can roll low.
Okay. 1d10 minus 3.
Yeah. Ugh.
I only take 5 damage. Oh.
So Cosmo rolled a.
Well, I did the modifier minus 3, so
You did.
1d10. I rolled a 3 and I took 0, so yay. Which is about all I could take, really.
Okay, what does that put Harbor at, hit point wise? 7? Is that right?
7.
Okay. Perfect. You guys lived.
Oh my God, we lived
For now, yeah.
for now. Okay.
I'm severely
And this thing kind of backs up away from you, Harbor, a little bit as it projects the mist.
Does the cockily go closer to the ground?
No, not really. It's still
Fucker.
flying about 10 feet in the air, just below the boughs of this tree that it's under. Your horses are over here, both of them now.
Thought my horse died.
They're kind of over here. Oh yeah, your horse died. Oh. I think you only spotted Cosmos' horse over here by this rock. Cosmo, you've got the rifle.
I'm gonna shoot a flare into it.
All right. From there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how you are with a flare gun. It'll attempt to get out of the way, of course.
Hold on, my daughter's trying to get me.
Sure.
You want cheese on them? You want me to put cheese on them?
Okay, sorry. It's important tater tot stuff going on here. It's just okay. So I have to use, I guess, a handgun, right?
Yes, sir. I think he's going to try to dodge here.
No, didn't make it.
Here is one thing we're missing. If you have a readied firearm, if you have a gun out ready to shoot, you get plus 50 to your initiative for the round. So we need to remember that.
Okay.
All right. Wow. So you missed with the flare.
Yep.
At least you didn't fumble.
That's always good.
You don't want to hit Harbor in the back of the head with your flare gun.
No, I don't.
All right. Let's see. John's taking another shot with his rifle over here. He's like, "Get away from there! Run away!"
Yeah, we probably should try to get our horses. Oh, nice.
Bam. He hits it. Seems to have not much of effect on this thing, though. Harbor, we're back to you.
Harbor, get the horse, man.
Can I sprint to the horse?
Yep, but in the snow, dude, you can only move about 20 feet. It's kind of hard going here. Only get up to about there.
I don't think that's going to work.
Why don't you run towards John? Maybe he can pick you up on his horse.
All right, I go towards John.
Yeah, you might want to get away from this thing because you're still in this mist. You can feel it like burning the exposed parts of your skin as you exit the fog running towards John there.
Oh, I didn't realize we were still in the mist, man. I would have gotten out of that shit. Sorry.
Well, it moves now.
Okay.
Here. Up here.
We'll revive his friend.
Is it still 10 feet in the air?
It's about 20 feet in the air now.
Oh, man.
Let's see what other kind of nasty shit this thing can do to you.
It's going to aim for you.
It's
Kyle,
going to go check on its thing, too.
Kyle, I need you to make a power check.
Power check.
Yes.
Okay. I've never had to make one of these before.
This is versus its power roll.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh!
Oh, it rolled right on it. I beat him by a point.
Sweet. The buzzing kind of intensifies. It feels like it's inside your head, Cosmo. Your vision's kind of blurry. You're a little disoriented from this buzzing in your head. But you're able to act. What are you doing?
Can I run out of the mist?
Yes. The mist is actually kind of dissipating at this very moment right now.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna run to right about here.
You see the ground before you where the mist hit like the snow on the ground around you? It's just frozen solid ice now. Cracked and broken looking.
I'm running to John because I haven't seen these. I haven't seen the horses over here. I wouldn't know about them because.
Well, why don't you give me a spot hidden then? See if you do notice the horses.
Okay.
Or the horse. Your horse.
Made it.
All right, you do. You see your horse kind of through the snow underneath the tree back there, standing by this rock.
Okay, so I'm gonna run to. I think I can get to right about where Harbor is.
Yep.
So that's where I'm gonna go.
That's about right.
And I'm gonna stand in front of him. You know, try to protect him.
All right. John kind of moves a little towards you here. He's taking another shot with his rifle.
And I'm calling my horse. I'm like, "Come on over here, horse."
John's rifle's like, boom, boom, boom. He's popping off rounds at this thing.
Damn.
Holy!
That's an impale. Doesn't seem to have much of an effect, though. Wah, wah.
I know, man.
This thing's dripping this green. There's like the snow all around you is covered with this green goo kind of flying off of these things. Harbor, we're back to you at the top of the round.
You should have brought a jug of acid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these things are dripping this goo as they were coming at you, you know, when you first saw them. It's like they're covered in this web slime stuff. It's weird.
Hopefully, it
I'm
means it
warping
doesn't.
one and just run towards the horse.
Okay, you can get up to about where John is, near his horse there. He's got his rifle raised, ready to take another shot. Uh-oh. The thing flies off to the north. And is out of sight.
Oh my God! Quick to the horses! Let's get out of here.
You see a bubbling green-blue mass in the snow up here where this thing fell. It doesn't even look like it anymore. It's just a pool of slime. The horse comes to you when you call him, Cosmo.
I'm like, jump on, son. John, thank God you came here when you did.
He looks at you and he nods his head. And he says, "Back down the mountain."
Hell yeah!
And then he starts riding.
So we get on. Harbor gets on. And I don't know how to move the horse, but anyways.
Cosmo, you're badly hurt. Harbor, you're bleeding pretty badly yourself.
We need to get to a doctor.
He says, "We'll go to Harney Ruger's place. He's the closest."
Harney Ruger, isn't that the crazy man?
Yes.
He's no doctor, John. We need to go to town.
He says it's the closest. He says town's about an hour.
We should make that ride to town.
Yeah, Cosmo, you're kind of barely conscious at this point. Harbor,
Right.
Harbor, you're having to kind of hold on to him to keep him on the horse.
On. There.
I'll tell you what, you guys, let's take a couple minutes here real quick, okay?
Okay.
Just take a drink break here and bathroom break. I'll be right
All
back.
right. Sounds good.
Dude, that's all it is.
All right, I'm back. All right. Well, that was a harrowing fight. Harbor. It's not too long before you are. Is everybody back? I'm sorry. Okay.
All right.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Is your dad back yet? Kyle, you back yet? Okay.
Now he is.
Hey, Aiden. It's
All
not,
right, I'm back.
Aiden. It doesn't take you too long to realize that your father is bleeding to death.
Oh, jeez.
He's barely conscious. His clothing is soaked with blood.
And Valor.
You're bleeding.
Can I use the medical case on him?
Yeah. Also, Cosmo or Harbor, you're bleeding badly from your arm where it got you with its pincer. Yes. Give me a first aid roll. You guys stop, and John's like helps. He says, "Help me get him off the horse." And he lays Cosmo down in the snow. He says, "You stay with us, Mr. Foster. Stay with us."
All right. Fuck.
Did you fail it?
Yes.
All right. Let's see how
Can I try first aid on myself?
Mr. McLaren does. Yeah, since you're conscious, you can.
Oh, he
Hold
got
on.
me.
Yeah, he's got you covered though. So the
Okay.
new rules are first aid heals 1. Okay, so heal 1. And also what that would do, Kyle, if you have a major wound and you hit 0 hit points, you have to be stabilized within like 2 rounds. Or basically you have to be stabilized as quickly as possible with first aid or die. You have to make a
Okay.
you have to make a constitution check every round or die. So first aid can be very handy, even more so than the older editions. So you heal 1, he bandages you up, stops the bleeding.
Thank you. Thank you, John. You're a lifesaver, literally.
I tried.
He says, "Mr. Foster,
It gets
I ain't never seen no birds was looking like that." He says, "What the hell were those things?"
I have no idea.
Well, he's an older guy. He's probably my age, right?
Yes, well, he's even older.
I'm like, I spent my whole life out in the woods. I've never seen anything like that. Those
Here, actually, let me get
Those
him over
things
here. Go ahead.
weren't of this earth.
He says they look like all burnt up crawdads, just like them hill folk are always talking about around here.
We killed one of them. We killed one.
With a flask.
He says we need to
Of
get you.
acid.
He says we need to get you by fire. He says Harney's place is about 20 minutes down that way, and he points, and you can actually see a thin line of smoke coming up, which is probably Harney Ruger's cabin down there.
Harney said he was working with them. I'm a little concerned going back to his place. He said he was working with them.
Working with them. With
Yeah, he said
with,
they were.
He goes with them.
Yes, he said they were he was their friends or something. He's mad, but I mean, I don't think we should go to his house. I think he's in league with them or something.
He says, we need to get down off this mountain, boys.
All right, well, let's go.
And he starts loading his rifle. He says, I know Harney. You let me deal with Harney. And he gets up on his horse.
All right, John.
He seems to think like you don't have any choice. You know,
Okay.
I mean, it is the closest place by far.
All right.
It's another, almost an hour back to town. And
Can I try to
and
heal
night-
myself?
And night's falling, he mentions.
Well, I can try to do first aid on you.
It's that movie moment, when he turns to you and he says, and night's a coming.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
go ahead and make the first aid checks.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Oh!
Fumble. Oh God. That's
Oh,
not good.
Shit, that's really bad, dude. Fumbles are supposed to be really bad. And I do believe, actually, it even says under first aid that if you fumble, you do damage. That would be mean, wouldn't it?
But can I push it?
Maybe, yeah, you could. Well, let's look at it real quick, just to rules check. First aid.
So do mine.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. Is if it fails, fumbles like that, I'm going to make it do 1 point of damage instead of healing anything. If you push it, though, consequences could be even worse, let's say.
I'd have to make the roll then.
Well,
Right.
How many hit points does he have?
I changed it to 6. So
Okay, so as of right now, he's lost 1. He's down to 6. You can push it, so if you make it, he doesn't lose that 1, and he actually gains 1. Or you can fail the push, and you're gonna make the bleeding even worse.
All right, I think I'll just leave it alone. Aiden,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
all right, I'm going to try.
Sure. Roll first aid.
What about John?
Under these conditions too, it's like, let's see if John
Yeah,
can do it.
it's tough.
What does John have? He's got the base.
Oh,
All right, right on. He says.
Maybe Harney can fix you.
So about 20 minutes later, you find yourself approaching Harney Ruger's cabin. Let's go back over there, shall we?
That's a great picture.
Yeah. I used that in The Dark Child, too, I think. Or something similar. All right, here we are back at Harney's place. Let's get old Mr. McLaren in here. He's kind of cockeyed. There we go. You guys ride up to the front of Harney's place. He comes walking out with a shotgun.
oh,
He's always got a shotgun on him.
And he's got this cantankerous look on his face. And John's like, Harney, these boys been hurt. When you get in front of your fire. And Harney comes out to you guys. He's looking you guys up and down. Says, these guys are bleeding. John gets down off of his horse, helps Cosmo off of his horse, and carries him inside.
oh no.
Oops. We don't want to stretch him.
Then Cosmo became huge.
We should zoom in a little bit here. There we go.
Oh no.
And Harney looks at you, Harbor, and he says, what'd you do, shoot yourself?
Oh no. Those things attacked me.
As he's walking up to the door, as you say that, he looks over his shoulder at you. And he walks back to you, and he says, what things?
I don't know.
Oh, you are actually still temporarily insane, technically. Let's mark that. Boom. Okay.
I don't know.
He says, "What you see up there, boy? Did you see him? Did you see him?" He's right in your face now. You can smell the liquor on his breath.
Gain my insanity. I accidentally punch him.
He grabs you by the shoulder and drags you up to the door and pulls you inside the door. John's got Cosmo laid out over here in the cot in the corner. And he's checking you over, Cosmo. He thinks he's got the bleeding stopped. He says, "We're going to have to get you to a doctor."
Oh no, I'm going to be dragged.
He says, "You just take it easy now, Mr. Foster." So Harney just comes up to the table, sits down in a chair, and pours some clear liquid into his mason jar out of this pitcher. And he says, "I think this boy done seen him." And he kind of jerks his thumb at Harbor. John's like, "Seen what, Harney? Seen what?" He says, "My friends."
Can I look at Harney with a crazed look?
And John looks at him like that, I don't believe a word you're saying look on his face. And he says, "You're crazy, Harney. At least I thought you were crazy." Harney's like, "I ain't crazy." And then there's this awkward silence. Cosmo,
Well, thanks for
Cosmo,
bringing us in.
Cosmo, you drift kind of into half-consciousness land.
Okay, well,
At this time,
it sounds more like this. And
you're in a lot of pain.
thanks for the.
Harney says that you're bleeding on his floor. He goes over and gets some old dirty rags. And Harney's going to try first aid on Harbor here.
Oh no.
Watch him fumble.
Oh. He tries,
Mm.
but fails.
Alright, so some time passes here. Cosmo, you're in a bunch of pain, but you're fully conscious now after a while. You're feeling a little better. Trying to process what just happened in the last couple of hours. Harney's sitting at a chair near his table there. He's like whittling something with a knife. Harbor is staring into the fire in the fireplace, his face blank. Also trying to let this sink in. So what's the plan, fellas?
Well, I guess I'm kind of out, but if
No, you're conscious. You're feeling okay. You're just in a lot of pain. You're very much alive. At least you lost some blood there,
well, I think as soon as we're able, we do appreciate you letting us stay at your place here, Mr. Ruger. And as soon as we're able, we're going to get it going.
Says, "What time's it?" Says, "What time is it, John?" John looks at wristwatch. He says, "Yeah, it's a little after 8. Y'all going to town?" He looks at Cosmo a lot and he goes, "Yep." John walks over to you, Cosmo. Harbor, you're still laser focused on the flames in the fireplace. Really trying to forget what happened. You still want to believe it's a dream. But
Can I try to figure it out?
Yeah, well, you're kind of in the Twilight Zone state right now. You're sitting at the table next to Hardy, who's whittling, but you're just staring into the fire, kind of with this mad look at your eyes, okay? Um,
Can I regain?
you'll be okay with a little time, you know. You're still being affected by what you saw. But you have control, more or less. I'm not going to have you jump into the fireplace or anything.
Oh,
Maybe, depending on what happens. John comes over to you, Cosmo. And he says, "You think you can make it to town, Mr. Foster?"
Yeah, let's give it a shot. I
He
mean,
says,
you know these hills better than anybody, John. If you think we can make it, then
I'm just god darn concerned to put a man in your condition on horseback. If you see what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying. But if I wasn't in this condition, would you go down?
And he goes, yeah.
All right, then.
He says, what if more of those things are out there?
Well, I mean,
maybe,
And he looks afraid.
maybe not.
yeah, I'm sure there are more of those things out there. But we're only 40 minutes from town now, right?
Oh, yep. He's all right then.
I say we chance it.
And he goes, hey, Mr. Foster, talking to Harbor now. He says, let's mount up. We're going to get your daddy back to town.
I just blank.
Harney stands up. He says, oh, yep, y'all now get on out of here. I got things to do.
He's such a pleasant man.
Get on out.
Thank you, Mr. Ruger.
So you guys mount up outside. It's still bitter cold out here, but you do have, Arctic shit. So if you didn't, you'd be in big trouble. And it's very, very cold and chill out here tonight and windy. As you guys are riding down the track, it's like a wheelbarrow width track down to the main road. It's a couple miles to get to the road. Just as you're leaving sight of Harney's cabin, you begin hearing this buzzing noise.
Oh, shit.
Coming from the north. Coming from the direction of the mountain.
All right,
And all three of you see three silhouetted shadowy figures of these flying insect things come out of the sky in the direction of the mountain, flying above the trees towards Harney's cabin. Everybody give me a sanity check.
Oh.
All right.
It's for John. Rolled a 12.
Oh, crap. We both missed it.
Harbor, you lose 1. You lost 5 before when you saw him. Cosmo, you're going to lose the entire D6.
So, 6 points?
A D6.
I'll roll it.
Yep.
Fuck.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with me now.
So I now need you to make an idea roll, right? Intelligence.
I hope I miss it.
You want to try to fail your intelligence roll.
I'm really smart. Oh, no!
Eddie shit! Oh, wait. Eep. What? I don't know.
He made his intelligence roll.
That means I understand what I saw, which is not good.
Alright, so let's shuffle up the madness deck, shall we?
Oh no.
I was hoping we would.
I'm gonna deal a card to you. Let's see what we got. Oops. Keep trying not to click steal. Psychosomatic disability.
Up. I try.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Just decline any stealing agreements or whatever. If you click on the very edge of the card, if you click on the card above Kyle's avatar, it'll open up a window with all his cards, and then click on the edge or corner of the card to pop it up on your screen. Can you guys see it? Psychosomatic disability.
I've got it. Yep.
Oh,
It says a specific part of your body immediately shuts down. Roll a d6 or choose from the following. I'm going to let you roll or choose, Kyle. It's your choice. But we just need to make it believable. So as you guys are riding double on your horse, and you see these things, and they're... Just think about what happened on the mountain earlier today. They're back, and there's 3 of them. They don't seem to see you at the moment, but here they come.
I'm gonna roll.
Mm-hmm.
Blindness.
you're blind now. Yay!
That's
Yeah.
actually probably the best thing that could have happened.
I guess, yeah.
You're blind! Great job!
All right, cool. So you're blind. You just play like you're blind, all right?
All right.
So you guys are basically on the road here. Let's move you out here.
Alright. Can we just, like, hurry? Like,
Away?
move?
Yeah, hurry away. Well, hold on. I'm going to describe something to you real quick here. Just want to open this up. All right. So you guys are out in the snow and ice. You see these things. Cosmo, you give sort of a stifled shout as things just kind of go black for you when this buzzing begins to intensify. Harbor and John, you guys see these things fly down out of the sky and land on Harney Ruger's front porch.
Oh, thank God we left.
And then you see the light from the firelight inside kind of light up the outside area when the door opens, and the 3 things enter Harney Ruger's cabin.
I ignore it.
Okay, and you guys are riding off down the track towards the old road.
Yep.
About an hour later, you guys find yourself back in Jennings.
Oh,
Thank God.
It's going on 10 p.m. It begins snowing, and the wind begins to kick up. Night is black, cloudy.
and as we ride, can I, like, ask Cosmo, are you okay?
He's not really.
Are you okay?
I can't see. Are we in town?
Yeah.
We should bunk up with John. We shouldn't be on our own. We need another gun around. We need somebody who understands what we saw.
Right.
Kyle, I have a kind of a good idea for psychosomatic blindness. It's not losing the ability to see. It's gaining the desire to not see. So you're always closing your eyes or shielding your eyes with your hands or something,
Okay.
kind of a thing. Like you feel like if you open your eyes, they're going to be there. Like you don't want to see them.
They're not there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, you guys need to talk about kind of like what you're going to do. You guys are back in town. John has taken you to the stable. There's like a livery, and he says he owns the stable in town. So you guys are at the stable. There's a small kind of office. You guys are sitting around this wood-burning stove, and he gives you guys some coffee, checking your wounds, Cosmo. And he says probably have to wait till morning to see Doc Phillips. He says he doesn't come into town until the morning. He lives out in the hills.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So you guys talk about what you want to do. I'll be right back.
All right. I think that, well, first off, we're both gravely wounded.
Yeah, we better, like, stay. But I'm going to investigate the office.
What office?
He said there's an office nearby.
Well, I would say we should take it easy tonight and then we might want to like scram and then come back once we're healed, because we're not going to be healed anytime soon.
All right.
I mean, we'd have to stay down here for several days, and
Yeah,
you know,
in the way majorly wounded works differently too, Kyle. Like, you are not going to gain back the 1 hit point per day. You're not going to be able to remove your major wound until you get someone do a successful medicine roll on you. I think basically
right?
How that works.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Cosmo is saying is like we need to get out of here. We gotta heal up and come back with some bigger firepower or something.
Not 2 hours later that night, John comes back. He said he was going to go out and get some supplies. He comes back and he says that fire's out there in that mountain again tonight, boys.
Can I ask him something?
Yeah, sure.
While you're there, can you get more flasks of acid?
He says you probably have to see the doctor about that. He's got a small pharmacy.
Huh. All right.
Runs a drugstore out of his office here in town. Says maybe you can get some acid that way. But he says the fire's back up on Strafton Mountain, east side, again tonight. He says now that the clouds cleared, you can see it real good in the east part of town.
Whatever's going on up there, I mean, if there's more of them things, there were 2 of them. They just about killed us all. There were 3 that visited Harnia, but there could be many of them. We need to. We need to get.
He says, I don't know about you, Mr. Foster, but I ain't going back up there.
I'm not sure I want to go back up there either, but I mean, what could they be up to?
He says they already done killed one of my horses, and he spits.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for that. We could have never understood or even imagined what we found up there.
Can I try to convince him that when we come back, we'll have more firepower, and more stuff?
He says I hit that dang darn thing square about 4 times. Didn't do nothing. Didn't do spit.
Yeah, that's but what did work on them? My axe worked on them fine, and my son threw some acid on it. Oh boy, it did not like that. That killed that one.
Yeah. Well, he says, you boys do all the crawdad hunting you want. He says, I'm going home. I'm going to gather the wife, and I'm going to take a long vacation down in California, eh? He seems especially nervous this evening. Anyway, the night passes at the stable office. And you guys can't help but get a little bit of sleep, just kind of snatching bits of sleep through the night. And lo and behold, the sun comes up the next morning.
I wake up.
How am I feeling in the morning?
Terrible.
Wake up, Cosmo. Wake up.
Dude, you have severe lacerations all down your back and your shoulders. And your
we
neck.
need to get the doc, son.
Yeah.
All right.
We need to get the doc as soon as Doc Phillips comes in town. We need to see him.
All right.
Do we have where's our car?
It's down parked near the diner.
I rush over there.
Okay. Yeah, it's just down the street.
And get into the car and drive it to where Cosmo is, which is the stables.
Mm-hmm.
And put him right in the passenger seat
Okay.
and assured him that everything will be fine. We're going to get everything will be fine.
Yeah, John tells you it's just at the edge of town. You'll see the sign. You know, Doc Phillips has got an office down there. He should be in by now.
And we go there.
Yeah, so you take him down to the docks. You meet Dr. Phillips. He's an elderly guy. There's a young man in there. He introduces himself, introduces the young man as his son. And he's obviously a pretty religious man because he uses a lot of expletives. Like when you guys come in, he says, "Good Lord Jesus! What has happened to you two? Sweet Mother Mary!"
We were attacked.
Yeah, he takes you back into the examination room. He says, yes, attacked.
Up on the mountain. I was trying to find my friend.
Robert, bring me my bag. Robert comes in with the medical bag. He begins examining you. And he says, God, man, I only saw something like this just many years ago. As if you were attacked by a wolf or a bear.
Trust me. Things we've seen on that mountain are fiercer than any animal in these forests.
All right, so he's got you on your belly, Cosmo, and he's stitching you. He's put some stitches in. Then he examines Harbor. He examines your arm, also gives you some stitches.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
You're a lifesaver.
He says, gentlemen, what is it exactly that happened here? These don't look like teeth wounds or bite wounds.
I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you think we're crazy. But I bet it's not the first time you've heard it.
Yes, go on.
We went up on the mountain.
Stratton Mountain?
Yeah. We went up there to check out those fires on the mountain.
And tried to find my friend.
Did Harney Ruger do this?
No. Harney did not do this, but he's working with the things that did. They were like giant.
Yeah, as you start saying this, as you start trying to describe these things to the doctor, right? The image of them floats in your consciousness, and you again get this strong, almost unstoppable desire to close your eyes and shield your eyes from seeing this image in your head, but it doesn't work. You close your eyes, it's just darkness, and they're just floating into darkness. And you're unable to speak for the moment, and the doctor kind of grabs you by the shoulder. He's like, Mr. Foster, calm down.
Will have to tell you.
Lay down, Mr. Foster. Lay down.
I have to tell you, I can't tell you, I can't get them out of my mind.
Robert, bring me my bag.
My second bag.
He gives you a shot. It's a sedative. And you kind of calm down, lay back down on the table, just floating in half sleep. And the doctor says to you, Harbor, he says, your father needs some rest very badly. He could die if he succumbs to infection. I suggest that you keep him here for a couple of days.
And
he says, pray, Harbor, pray for your father. And then he starts rattling off some other, things that he needs from his son, Robert, give me some clean towels and my forceps and some of that antiseptic.
Can I, give him the rest of the first aid?
No. It's basically, okay, here's how it works, first aid. Once per wound. generally. And
Oh,
and I think he's already gotten. Did you get one successful first aid on you, Kyle, or two?
What now?
Did we have two successful first aids on you, or just one?
Just
Do you
one.
remember? Okay.
Just one.
Yeah, that's not necessary, Aiden. I'm actually going to roll medicine for the doc here.
and then it gets worse.
Yeah. Let's see, medicine. You got a 65. So.
Yes.
All right. All right. So, Cosmo, you're going to immediately gain back 3. And now you will heal 1 per day, and you are no longer majorly wounded.
Yay!
I think. Let me double check that.
So I healed 3?
Yeah, let me double check.
Can I give the doctor my medical case and to help?
No, because now all of his wounds have been treated, essentially. We can't just do repeated first aid rolls.
How about
now.
mine?
Here's how it's going to work from now on. So healing begins for Cosmo, okay? So uncheck the dying box. You're not dying, though. And actually keep the major wound checked for now, Kyle.
Okay.
And what you do at the end of each week, we do a major wound recovery roll at the end of each week. And I think that
Okay.
consists of a constitution check.
Okay.
All right. So
And while I'm
which
at
means
the
you don't
doctor-
gain back the 1 per day like normal either. Harbor, you'll gain back 1 per day at this point. So.
Like, I asked the doctor if he has any flask of acid with him.
Yes. He's kind of curious now. He says, acid? My God, man, what would you have to do with acid?
It's hard to explain. It's with
No.
these up on the mountain.
So you're going to hunt with acid? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Foster?
No. Those things have a weakness.
Now.
Wait.
Get a grip, young man. What are you talking about?
Ask. What's the John? Ask John McLaren. He will tell you the rest.
Yes. He says, you've had quite a shock, Mr. Foster. I suggest you get some rest. You'll feel much better. Come. And he kind of shows you this spare bedroom in his office.
Thank you.
And he pours you a brandy. Pours you some cognac. Just take it. Drink it all. Good.
And I drink it.
Now just lie and be still. Be quiet, Mr. Foster. I'll be back to check on you. And he goes walking out. So you did notice that in the just off of the examination room, there seems to be a sort of a pharmacy there. He's got these shelves kind of with bottles and jars and stuff like that. So if he has it, it's probably in there.
Bed.
Huh?
Walk over to see what the pharmacy has.
Right. Probably not much of a pharmacist, are you?
No.
Chemistry. All right. So you see all these bottles and jars and stuff, and it's all medicines, different kinds of powders and liquids and things, but, you recognize some of them as just common everyday sort of medicines or whatever, but a lot of it is just names of chemicals. So you're not sure what would constitute acid and what wouldn't, right? Well, let's see if you can. I think your best bet, since you really don't have any chemistry or pharmacy or anything, let's see, the base for pharmacy is what? I don't know, is that on the sheet? It's not on my paper sheet here. think it's probably 1. Give me a natural world check, Aiden.
Natural.
That gives you 10% at least.
All right.
Oh, that was so close. Your dice almost rolled to like an 02 on my screen. So now, what you could do, you're only 10 points off. You could spend 10 luck points to identify the acid.
Yes.
Why not, right? You always have a chance to get D10 luck points back at the end of every session. So all right, we'll deduct 10 luck points.
All right.
And you find some hydrochloric acid in liquid form.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was a great idea to bring acid.
And it's a good amount. It's about 8 ounces or so. Kind of a portable small bottle of it. It's in a metal. It's in a metal, or a It's in a metal like lead lined bottle.
How often do you get to say that in your life? It was a great idea to bring acid.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now
Is the doctor still there?
Yeah, he's milling about. He's checking on Cosmo, like once an hour. Cosmo's sleeping. He's all bandaged up in the examination room, sleeping comfortably. There's a small fire going in here in the fireplace. Keep things warm. You can smell there's some food cooking in there. It smells like you're cooking some lamb or something.
I go right back to my bed and I'll get the hydrochloric acid after Cosmo's wounds heal up.
Well, we're looking at weeks for him to really heal up. You know what I'm saying? You too. You get Harbor's going to get back 1 per day. Cosmo's going to have to wait a week and make a constitution check before he gets any more back. He'll have to be under the care of a doctor as well. So the nature of the game is right now would be a good time probably just for some time to pass and just jump into narrative mode.
All right.
John pays a visit later that afternoon and checks in on you guys. And he from the way he's talking, he sounds like he really is going to take a vacation. He's talking about leaving town for a while, actually.
John, I asked him, has anybody in town heard or talked about or seen what we've seen before?
There's only legends. Things like werewolves. Things like, there's one time when, some of the farmers around here are talking and people seen some strange things out in those woods.
Can I, when he visits my bed, I try to tell him that you need, tell the doctor what you saw.
Says, fellas, I still ain't sure what I saw.
Just try. Please.
He says you have to understand, Doc Phillips, he's a man of God. He says he don't believe none of these legends, none of these myths, none of these tales of evil out there in them woods. He doesn't believe none of that. He says if I try to tell him what happened the other day, he's going to think I'm crazy. He says, I suggest we forget it. I suggest we forget the whole thing. He says, you boys go on back home now.
I won't. I will not rest till I find my friend.
I don't think we're gonna find your friend.
He says, "Well, I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Foster."
We need to.
He says, but good luck to you too. And he leaves.
I go. Like the local constable. He's arrested Harney Ruger.
Yeah, just recently he was arrested for attacking the postman.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to go talk to him and see if they've ever confiscated anything from Harney of interest. Like, maybe they didn't think it was interesting, but maybe we would think it's interesting, you know?
So you're going to try to see the constable?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you go down to the constable's office and it's locked. It's all locked up. And the diner's just a couple doors down. So you kind of take a quick peek into the diner. And you find out, and they kind of hinted at this before as well, that the constable, he only comes into town like once a week. Usually it's on a Monday or a Tuesday, just to come into town to collect the, recent gossip and things like that. But he lives outside of town.
What?
I'm going to reload my page here.
Does, it's locked, eh?
Yep, it's all locked up and closed. It's just a small office.
You want to try to pick the lock, Aiden?
I'll try, but
I have a 1% locksmith, so that's not going to work.
You can break into the sheriff's office. Hey, Kyle, do me a favor. Click on your card, your madness card that you have. Drag it out onto the table. See if you can do that, because I can't.
Can I?
I'm trying to get rid of it.
I don't have a lock.
Oh, wait, here we go. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Just delete it. You're over that now.
Okay. Yeah, is there like a back door to the constable's office?
Yeah, but it's all locked up. All the windows are locked and the doors are locked.
I look at the lock. Can I, if I, is there a glass pane in the back?
There is a glass pane on both doors, front and back.
Okay, well,
and being a small town in the middle of winter, I mean, there's nobody really around, so it wouldn't be too hard to not be seen.
All right, well, I am going to wrap a cloth around my hand and punch through the back door, like the glass, and once I'm sure there's a hole big enough, and I'm not going to cut myself, then I'll.
Yeah, you're able to kind of jimmy the lock, and.
Yep.
You open the door.
Oh!
All right, we are going to search this place, and especially with a fine eye towards finding anything about Harney Ruger. Like, anything that might, I mean, nobody seems to know anything about these creatures, but, maybe there's something else here.
So to access the police records, you're going to have to break into the locked file cabinet.
Can I, see what's around?
Yeah, it's just like you imagine a small sheriff's office would be. There's a typewriter, desks. There's a small, jail cell in a separate room out back. There's a wood-burning stove, a couple of file cabinets. There's a telephone in here.
Can I, check if he left any guns?
Yes, there's a gun rack above the fireplace with a 30-30 carbine, like a rifle, like your dad has, and a double-barrel shotgun.
I'm going to. I mean, why not? I mean, let me ask you this: if we try to pick the lock to the cabinet, can we just use some other means to get in there if we don't make it?
No, you'd have to bust it open. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's try to pick it. Who knows?
All right, it's a locksmith.
Yep. I'm gonna try it.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, it's a 0-1. I'd have to roll a 0-1. You should try too, Aiden, because why the hell not?
Yeah. You guys are amateurs.
Oh,
at the breaking.
Amateur is a generous description.
Yeah. See now, Kyle, you have to remember. Yeah, you have to remember in this game too. Like, it might be nice to once in a while suggest that, hey, can I roll this just to see if I can get a check in it, and succeed.
Yep.
But then again, you also have to consider what happens if you roll a 100 and get the fumble. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
you could open it up with the locksmith rather than break it in, but if you roll 100, that's when the sheriff shows up.
Right.
Or
Okay,
something.
well, what about mechanical repair? Can we try to use that to get in
No.
there?
No, you
All
already
right.
failed your locksmith. You guys are not gonna have.
We're gonna
a
have to
chance.
bust in, so we'll
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to
pry it open.
pry it open.
Yeah, well, I'll use my axe that I always have on me and pry it open.
Not a problem.
In the meanwhile, I get the double barrel shotgun.
I wouldn't take that, son. We might get away with something like this, but if you're found with if we leave here with something like this on us, we're gonna have a hard time explaining that one.
I leave it back.
Come over here and help me with these files. So we can both check around in there.
All right, so the axe isn't quite cutting it, so you're able to find, back in the back. There's this room, and it's got some junk kind of stacked up, and you find an iron bar, and you're able to pry open the file cabinet. You've irreparably broken the file cabinet now, of course.
Oh.
That's fine.
Hey, in the meanwhile, I tried to find like a key.
Spot hidden?
Yeah, go ahead. Both of you guys can give me a spot hidden if you're going to start searching around. You guys went right to the file cabinet, so. No.
Nope.
It's okay, though. So, Cosmo, after you bust this thing open, and then Harbor's like, hey, Dad, look. And you have found a ring of keys in one of the desk drawers. Looks like they go to the file cabinets.
Oh, shit. Well. Anyways.
Amateurs.
Yes, we're not gonna break again, but what are you gonna do?
All right.
Let's
see if we can. All right. Let's see if we can find anything useful in the police record. This can be a luck roll again. Let's do some luck.
Dad, I don't have any luck, so I want you to...
I don't make it. I rolled a 65.
Yeah. And Aiden, you've used some luck points. So your luck's probably a little lower on the lower side now, huh?
Well, you don't have to use any luck points for this. Just roll your
don't.
luck.
Yeah, you just roll your luck.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Is it 32? Ooh. And you can't use luck points to improve luck rolls either. So after about a half hour searching through this stuff, you guys, you don't find a file on Harney Ruger or nothing. Seems like all really just mundane stuff. There's record in there for people, domestic disputes, bar fights, land disputes, stuff like that. And nothing on Harney Ruger.
Damn.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
let's get out of here. We try to tidy up as best we can.
Yeah, the back door's broken, the file cabinet's broken. Other than that, everything is just where he left.
Do we know how much it would cost to fix all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
but it will draw some people's attention.
How much? $40 or so would replace the file cabinet.
We leave $40 on the counter.
Okay. All right. Break it into the sheriff's office. How Call of Cthulhu is that? All right. And you didn't find anything, so.
We didn't find anything, though, but I'm thinking we might want to go see if there's any record of this anywhere else besides this town. Like, I think we want to heal up Aiden before, or not Aiden, but Harbor. I think we need to heal up and see if we can find something outside of town. Maybe we can research this somewhere else and find some evidence of this area somewhere.
All right. We'll leave town.
Don't you have any fancy friends in New York City?
No.
I have plenty, but
I mean, Harbor's character, he's like a kind of a business manager type. Although he works at a newspaper, so he has a lot of connections with journalists and such.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
some academics, you know.
like a records.
I'll ask the person who wrote that article where he found that.
Or if he's found, if you know,
If
like
he found anything else, but
Right. Well, here are the articles you guys found. You
Yeah.
guys paid a visit to the Tatler office when you first got here, and the editor there shared some of these articles with you guys. And given a period of a day or two or a few days that go by after you guys get back to town, the Tatlers again, having articles about strange sounds on Strafton Mountain and another fire. The same night that you guys were out at Harney Ruger's, that same night there was another fire. After you saw these beings show up at Harney's cabin. Since then, the last 2 nights there hasn't been any other fires, but there's still reports of strange sounds, things like that. No news of you guys, though. Apparently nobody knows yet. The doctor and John have kept their mouths shut, I guess. But of course, Doc Phillips, too, Cosmo, insists that you spend some time with him, at least over the course of the next week. He said it's probably not good to travel, just his suggestion.
Well, it seems like it's safe enough in town for now, Harbor. I guess we can listen to the good doctor here, so I can.
all right, we go back to his.
Maybe send a telegram to your home office and tell the head records clerk to see if they can dig up anything else on this area, not just for the recent history, but back into history.
And I actually do that.
Okay. So you're going to contact your people in New York, basically, is what you're doing, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just look at major wound recovery here real quick. Let's go ahead and do that, Kyle, because it's going to probably take, a few days, up to 5 days or so, to get a reply from New York on this stuff. So it says a constitution roll should be made at the end of each week of game time, then a major wound box is ticked. If the con roll is failed, no recovery takes place that week. On a success, 1d3 hit points are recovered.
How about if it fumbles?
On an extreme success, with the con check, you get 2d3 hit points recovered. And you get a bonus die if you have complete rest in a comfortable environment. So there's no medicine checks or anything, I believe.
It's just constitution checks, right?
Yeah, and you also get another bonus die if you receive effective medical care with a medicine skill roll. So that's where that comes in.
Okay, so just roll my constitution.
So roll your constitution. You're going. Well, let me have him roll his medicine first.
Okay.
I'm wounded as well.
Yeah, we'll do you 2. You'll get back 1 per day, so it's been 5 days. You get back 5 hit points, Aiden.
Yay!
Success on the medical roll, so you get 2 bonus dice, Kyle, on your con check. So roll the gray button. Plus 2 is a regular success.
Hooray!
So you get back 1d3, and you can uncheck major wound. So now you'll get back 1 per day.
All right. I'm fully healed.
Oh,
Good.
that's not let me. Oh, there it is. Hold on. I clicked that button like 3 times. Let's see here. Submit. 3.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
That is nice. Doctor, you're working wonders for me. Glad I stayed.
Yeah, so he releases you on your own recognizance after, that next weekend. He says you're good to travel now and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so
Did I get a response yet?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So tell me again specifically what you're asking your people to search for. Just generally.
Like the town, I forgot the town's name.
Jennings.
Yeah.
Jennings. What is the past of Jennings?
Mm-hmm.
in either
Weird
myth
occurrences.
or legends, like myths and legends about that place,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and see who actually published that article.
So what comes back are some references to books, mostly. Books on American folklore and such that have been written within the last century or so. In a general sense, your assistant says in his letter, I'm just going to kind of paraphrase it. In a general sense, Jennings, Vermont, and some of the surrounding agricultural towns in southern Vermont have a lot of Irish myths and folk tales associated with these locations. So there's a lot of stories of fairies and witches, along with other more kind of traditional type European ghost stories or monster kind of stuff. Werewolves, especially, was prevalent in the 18th century in this area.
All right.
Also, there is a story of a rather famous story that originated in Jennings. It's sort of considered a ghost story, and your assistant shares the entire story with me. You want me to read it for you guys? It's like
Yes.
a couple paragraphs. It says, the blizzard was raging fiercely around them as the brothers stumbled down the long road. They were miles from any farm and knew they had to seek shelter or freeze to death. And Harbor, you look at your father and it's like, kind of sounds familiar.
It sure does.
So it was with gratitude that the two brothers spotted a saloon and pushed their way through the door. Every eye in the room turned upon them as the boys ordered coffee with the last of their money. As the bartender went to fetch the hot drink, most of the regulars returned to their conversations. But one man continued to stare, a massive butcher with a mop of red hair and a red, long beard, who was the worse for drink. He was drunk, apparently. You're looking at me funny, the butcher slurred, looming over the two boys. We weren't looking at you, said the older boy. We were just warming ourselves by the fire. Are you calling me a liar? He shouted. Around the room, the crowd grinned. They loved a good fight. Remember, this is from like the 18th century. We didn't say that, said the older boy quickly, waving his hands and accidentally striking the butcher on the arm. That did it. The butcher grabbed the boy by the collar. No one hits me and gets away with it, he roared and threw the boy headfirst into a huge fire raging in the hearth. Threw the boy headfirst into the huge fire raging in the hearth. There was a moment of stunned silence in the saloon, and then the elder boy screamed in agony as the flames engulfed him from head to toe. The younger lad shouted in terror. The older boy stumbled out of the fireplace as the little brother tried to beat out the fire with his small hands. The butcher loomed above them, grinning sadistically as the flaming boy lost consciousness, his screams dying away. Your turn, the butcher said to his brother. The younger boy gasped in fear and fled for his life out into the raging snow. The boy's little frozen body was not found until the spring. One evening, a decade after the death of the two young boys, a burly man with a long red beard came strolling down the road, one taken by the brothers. The butcher had heard rumors of a ghost, but had discarded them as so much poppycock and tavern talk. As he meandered down the road, he became aware that a silence had fallen, and in the odd silence he heard the footsteps of a large animal. They walked when he walked, and stopped when he stopped. Pulse pounding madly, the butcher turned, and behind him, large as an ox, stood a black bird with blazing blue eyes and sharp teeth. The butcher had seen those blue eyes once before. gazing at him from the face of a young boy trying to save his burning brother. The black bird hissed softly and took a step forward. The butcher whirled around to flee and found himself face to face with a tall figure covered from head to toe in flames. The burning boy reached out toward the butcher with hands withered and blackened by fire, and the butcher gave a terrified scream and fell, blood gushing from eyes and nose. He was dead before he hit the ground. And then the tale ends with, to this day, the black bird and the flaming figure still appear in that vicinity to harass travelers and speed them on their way. So not much of a direct connection, but the story does mention this butcher being attacked by this black bird.
Black bird. Interesting.
Well, sounds like another terror in the area.
Guess so. But I think we need to go back and arm up.
Yeah, I think we need to find a sizable stash of acid.
So a little over a week has passed.
Well,
just last night, Sunday evening, yet another fire was spotted on the east face of Strafton Mountain. It's unseasonably cold today.
okay, this is what I think we should do, son.
Yeah?
We know that acid works on them, so we should work with that as our foundation. And we know that that kook up there, Harney's in league with them. So we're gonna have to deal with him too.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him.
I don't know if we should shoot him. I don't know that. Like, I'm thinking if we took him and tried to get information out of him,
Yeah.
I don't think he would tell us much.
The rifles at least seem to be ineffective.
Yeah, but the axe was semi-effective. The acid was insanely effective.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do they have a pesticide can? Like, we're gonna have to
Like a spray can?
research. Yeah, something that we can put the acid inside of, and then like pump it and spray it.
Yeah, I'm not really too familiar with the science, but it would have to be a special lining. That's kind of why I said like the jar that has the acid has like a lead lining or something in it to keep the hydrochloric acid from eating through it. Although I think it would probably eat through lead, but it's lined with some kind of metal. So it would have to be a specially made container for hydrochloric acid.
Well, my throw's pretty good, son. Just working in the woods and so forth.
Yeah, the way it worked before is he unstoppered the container basically and threw it at the thing, and it just splashed on him.
If I had to throw something at a distance at one of these things, I'd probably get hit him half the time.
Mm.
All right.
Maybe better. I don't know. Maybe a little bit better. Why don't we go back to a bigger spot, bigger place? We can get some better winter gear, so now that we've been up there, we kind of know.
Yes.
And
let's actually go back.
Get some more survival gear. And come back and see if we can't do something about these horrors that are up here. And let's see if we can research this a little better. I know we didn't turn anything about the area, but somebody's got to know something about things like this. Odd occurrences, odd things, monsters.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did when you first arrived hear a little bit about that from John.
Yeah.
But nothing really too specific. I can remind you of a little bit of what they said. Unnatural things in those hills. Nobody goes out there. Nobody goes out there at night.
I'm thinking something like along the lines of like, you know, a Dunwich horror situation, right?
Yeah, he's
Where
heard
you've
things.
got this
Yeah,
rural community.
Yep. And you don't know what to believe is, you know, what is true and what is not. Although John did tell you that he's heard talk of people describing these things something like big crawdads, big as a man, but with little
Yeah,
scrunched up faces and red all over, like they've been
where
roasted.
are those people though?
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably farmers out there, you know, in the community.
So I want to go back so we can prepare. So
I think somebody told you too at the diner. They said everybody knows they're making them fires. And Bartley knew it too. Reckon he got too close. I'll lay a dime that poor old Bartley's got roasted too. Whatever that means.
yeah. How about
And then Harney was telling you guys in his drunken stupor, he was saying stuff like, "My new friends know more than them professors at the U. They can make it snow and rain.
Let's
Don't have my dog no more."
right. Don't eat him.
He was telling you like they needed his dog or something.
Yeah, they needed to eat him. Well, speaking of professors, when we go back to, I guess we're going back. We would go back to. We're in Jennings, Vermont. What's around here? Like, I guess let me take a look at the map of the U.S. here.
Nothing, dude. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh no, I mean we're gonna go back to like an urban center.
Yeah, it'd probably be like Brattleboro.
I would rather go back. Like, where is like the best place to like get like
I think Boston is probably the closest place. Like big center, because like just looking at the map,
Major
here,
city, yeah.
Major city. Let's go to Boston, and then taking Harney's. You know, he says that the professors don't know as much as his friends do. Let's see if we can find a professor that's into the weird, or you know, might be able to point us in the right direction.
Okay.
So our main goals going back to Boston is to find a place where we can buy plenty of acid in containers that we could throw.
Also, just in case, we need to bring firearms.
Yeah, we should bring firearms too.
Yeah, there are bears out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to spice things up a little.
Yeah, just not vengeance bears, just regular bears.
Yeah. Yeah, vengeance bears. We don't want to meet any vengeance bears.
Yeah. Okay.
Vengeance bears always take.
So it's not too much trouble to, you know, gather up some hydrochloric acid, and you know, have some kind of makeshift way of spraying it if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I think that's
this actually brings it can in some effect have like another person can join us if we go to Boston.
Yeah, like who?
I don't know.
I'm not thinking we're going to be able to get anybody to come with us for this, son.
They're just going to think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Foster, what was all this acid for again?
Oh, we're trying to clean some steel.
You got the trunk of your car open and it's like full of bottles of acid. You know, what was all this for again?
We're trying to clean some steel off of an old U-boat we found.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what you get, right?
Yeah. Do you really want to know? Probably not.
No. It's not like medieval times when you can go back to town and just hire a man at arms. You know.
Exactly.
Henchmen.
We go to the local tavern.
And, I don't know if you want to get the police involved. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean...
Then again, you did break into the sheriff's office.
But we left them some money to fix it.
Yeah. It's all good.
All right.
I mean, it's still going to be shitty. He's going to have to replace it. But
Yeah.
I mean, the town constable, he's already kind of heard all this, I would assume.
Well, he's probably heard the rumors, yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. The doc and Dr. Phillips and John McLaren, they were kind of keeping their mouth shut. They weren't telling anybody about this. But honestly, you get the sense that Doc Phillips just kind of thinks you guys are a little weird. Yeah, and maybe saw something that he's not willing to acknowledge.
He's not willing to go full.
No. He's probably, like you said, he's probably seen this stuff from time to time. Somebody will come in and tell him, they saw the devil out on Knox Hill, or something. Like,
It was the devil.
Yep. It's all red all over, scrunched up face. Yeah, I know, Margaret. Yeah, we've heard that before.
All right.
All right, so we've got our acid. We've got some better jackets and stuff since we know it's going to go deep.
Yep. What about the horse trailer? You going to spend some of your life savings on a horse trailer? Some of your own horses? Or because, if you figure by the time you get back, John's probably going to be gone.
Yeah.
Which means his horses are unattended.
What is it about Call of Cthulhu that turns people into criminals?
All right.
All right, we'll spend some money to get some horses and a horse trailer. We'll do it the honest way. I mean, we did leave if we stole his horses, we'd probably pay him back for them anyways. That's what we did with the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
How about I send a telegram to the newspaper and tell them to put on a ad for a gun for hire to help on an expedition.
Someone like a professional adventurer type, like a guide.
We look in the Soldier of Fortune magazine for guys getting released from Angola.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Aiden. I'm thinking like a guide, like a mountaineer type, right?
Yeah, and
a guide that might have to do some, more than just guiding.
Yeah. Well, let's see. How's your credit rating? You guys got money or?
Well, his credit rating at Harbor's rich.
665. Yeah, he's up there. Give me a credit rating check for Harbor. It's going to cost some money for something like this. The daily rates for a seasoned mountain man.
Where is it?
It's under C in your skill list. It's credit rating.
Huh. All right.
Oh, man, you're so close.
Well, yeah, you could use your luck. 4 points of luck for that. So if not, then basically it's a little too rich for your blood, actually. The guy wants, $100 a day and expenses paid. If you succeed, you might get something that you can actually afford.
Well, as a lumberjack, don't I know some wild mountain men?
Roll your credit. Well, yeah, actually, maybe some old lumberjack buddies, huh?
Some old coot that I decided not to cut down all the trees on his property at his request.
Yeah.
Owes me a favor.
So what we'll do for that, I think. Let's see, Cosmo. How personable are you? Because remember, appearance is not only a physical appearance, but it's like your charisma, right? Roll your charisma. Give me
roll my appearance?
Yeah. Let's see if anybody likes you well enough to...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I succeeded. 29.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So you track down Joe Bob Dempsey.
Joe Bob Dempsey. Goddamn. So good to see you, Joe Bob.
Yeah, an old friend. You guys kind of got started in lumberjacking together. And he agrees to accommodate you. If he's a good tracker, for one thing. He's got a lot of, woodland experience, things like that, survival. He'd be willing to work for you for $25 a day.
All right. All right.
Which, comes about, that's about $300 a day in modern terms. A little steep, but.
Well, I just tell him, like, listen, we were up in these hills here, and, me and my son, I show him the scars and stitches. We were attacked, and you won't believe... You won't believe what we encountered until you see it yourself. And I know you're a man of the woods, but I've never seen it myself either. So,
all right. So Joe Bob gives you the sense, Cosmo, that he doesn't believe you, but he's pretending like he does.
I understand. I completely understand where he's coming from.
But what he wants to know is ultimately what is the goal here?
When we run into these things...
These things, yeah, you mean these people, right? What do we do?
Yeah, when we run into these people, the only thing that works on them is acid.
It will scare them away. We're
going to throw this acid at them.
And it will scare them away.
'Cause ain't that little extreme, Cos?
Do you see these cuts on me? They tried to kill my son, goddammit.
What are we dealing with here? We're dealing with, like, mobsters or
worse?
We're dealing with wild people out in the woods.
Yes.
You mean like hill folk?
Worse.
Oh.
Way worse.
Worse. Good one.
Worse.
Yeah, these aren't good hill folk. These are something other than that. You'll see.
Mm-hmm.
To quote the men from Ling, you will see. You will see.
No worries. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's on board.
All right, Ruby.
That's what we needed.
All right. So you need 3 horses.
Is there like a gun shop or something? Because I keep noticing that almost all the people have guns.
Mm-hmm. It's
Is there a
America.
gun shop?
Yeah, a lot of people have guns. Just about everybody has guns in the 1920s.
Yeah, and not only that, but think about it. If you're out in the middle of Jennings, Vermont, you're not going to be able to call the police. By the time they get there, you're going to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you better have a gun.
You mean the sheriff, the one guy, the one police officer.
Exactly, who's never in the office.
How about we go to my friend's house again?
Man,
sure.
For what?
We've got the keys to it. That's where we're going to stay.
Oh yeah, Bartley's place. Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have access to Bartley's place.
Go to Bartley's place.
I believe the editor at the newspaper gave you the key to his place.
Yep, we still have it. So we can stay there when we arrive in town.
You do. You arrive in town. That's where, if you're ready to go back.
Yeah, we go back.
It's about a month later, and weather reports in the days leading up to your trip there are showing that there's been unseasonable cold in southern Vermont, in the Jennings area, for weeks on end now. People are calling it like a cold snap.
I think this has everything to do with the frost wand wielding lobstermen.
That's just crazy to think.
It is.
Harbor especially. Harbor, you have trouble even thinking about what happened up there in that mountain. A lot of times you're half inclined to just believe it was all a dream, and maybe this is even just the same dream a month later, you know. Yeah.
Just a dream.
All right, so
your skin crawls with the thought of seeing these things again, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so when we get to the place and we're spending the night there, you know, we say this is our friend who was killed by these guys that we're gonna meet up on this hill up here.
But you think he was killed by these guys. You never found his body, did you?
Well, I'm trying to compel this guy that we're gonna.
So you're
run
making him believe that Bartley is dead.
I'm just saying, like, we never. I guess we could say we never found him, but you know they disappeared with these tough hombres we ran into. So you know,
right?
Get ready. Whatever we're about to get into, it's not going to be easy.
So
get ready.
Yeah, getting back in Jennings and hanging around at the diner a little bit and talking to the owner and the other patrons that are in there. Over the past week or two, the fires up on Stratford Mountain have become more frequent. It's about every other night now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, half the people believe it's just Harney Ruger doing some crazy shit up there. Half the people say that it's, witches. Or just the devil.
Like, I try to convince more people to join us. Like saying,
I mean, I'll put some. I'll post
about that.
I'll post up. I'll post a. I'm sure they have like some local billboard, right?
Well, the diner would be the place, yeah. To post something.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll stay down there and listen for people talking about lobster men. And we'll outright say we want to. We're like, there's something on that hill, the scrunchy faced, pink bodied things. We've seen them, and we want to talk to people who believe that.
Yeah, and Aiden, you said you wanted to try to get these people to join you. Is that what you said?
Can I try to convince some of the locals to join us?
Yeah. Roll appearance for Harbor.
He's a pretty dashing guy, isn't he?
Very.
No.
Oh, baby!
Makes a father, makes a father proud.
If you're so certain that he's I convinced them somehow.
All right, so you encounter this guy. He's a local farmer. This is like the third day that you guys are here hanging around in Jennings. His name's Rabbi Donaldson. He's a young guy.
Excuse me. Whew.
He's a young guy, and he starts asking you questions like, he wants to know, he's like, you gonna go up on that mountain, Harbor? You want to go see what that fire is?
Yes.
He says, I'll go with you. He says, I've seen the fire about every night. It's been burning for the last 2 months. There's all kinds of talk in town. He says, I'd like to go see what it is, but I'm too scared to go up there by myself.
We are.
How's your throwing arm?
He says, I played varsity baseball in Brattleboro.
We're gonna have
perfect.
We're gonna have a badass.
That's just what we needed.
So he's like all excited. Like I said, he's a young guy, 18 years old. He says, so when we going? We're going tonight?
No, we're gonna head up there during the day tomorrow. It'll be us two and my friend here, Joe Bob Dempsey, and us.
I do thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Foster.
I hope you say that when we're through. This could be serious business.
He says, you got a gun I could use?
I just think you need to warm up that throwing arm, son.
And also,
I could probably get my daddy's gun.
There's some shotguns over at my friend's house.
He says, I'll just get my daddy's shotgun. He won't mind.
Okay. But be prepared to throw. We want told Joe Bob and my son and I we're going to be throwing some hot.
He's looking at you like intently. Hot, yeah. What?
We're going to be throwing acid, son.
Throwing acid. His face scrunches up.
Just be prepared, son. Can you do that?
All right.
Are you in?
Okay.
How in are you?
Okay, Mr. Foster.
Can you do that?
Okay, Mr. Foster.
All right.
All right.
Get yourself a good night's sleep, because tomorrow we're going up.
All right, so you guys are going up in the morning, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go into my friend's house and get the shotgun and like
I mean, you've got your 38, man. Your 38 auto, and you had a shotgun, didn't you?
Yeah, he lost his first 38. I'll assume he got a new one.
Yeah. We re-equipped, you know?
Yeah. So Harbor's got a 38, right? And you got a double barrel shotgun, I believe.
No.
No? What are you
left,
taking up there with you then?
the shotgun, like the second shotgun in my friend's.
Okay.
And the guy who was writing the articles for the Brattleboro Tattler, Hayden.
Yeah.
That guy's place. And we just get some ammo, because I think he did have some weapons in there. I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
You'd have to
It
tell
was
us.
like
He did. Yeah. He did. He had a double barrel shotgun. I think he had a rifle too, like a Lee Enfield rifle, like a bolt action rifle.
Not messing around.
Yeah. Joe Bob's got a shotgun and 245s, 245 auto pistols, and Rabby's bringing his daddy's shotgun.
All right, and everybody has to bring, like the guys who they got to bring a sack of like 10. How many bottles of acid do we have? You said a trunk full.
You tell me.
I'm gonna have to assume.
How many could we carry with us reasonably?
Like on your person?
Yeah.
A few each, I guess.
A few?
Yeah.
I think about 5.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, so everybody's got to carry 5 of these, whether they want to or not.
Okay. 5
apiece.
flasks of acid.
Yes.
That's 15, 20, that's 25 flasks of acid you guys are taking up on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Loaded for vengeance bear.
Loaded for...
It is basically vengeance bear.
Loaded for acid throwing.
All right, so you guys are riding up Strafton Mountain in the morning, huh?
Yep. Cue up the...
You gonna try to get up to where the Barren Spur is? Where the ring of irregular stones lie?
Yes.
Yeah, quietly. We're going to let the mountain man lead us there as quiet as we can. If we need to tie our horses up, somewhere close by. But
you guys get up there after a few hours near the top of the mountain. And as I said, it's a barren spur. It has a clear view to the north as well as to the east. And there's a ring of irregular stones, each stone roughly 3 feet in diameter. And the stones are all coated with thick layers of fresh frost and rime.
This is going to be interesting.
And there's definite evidence of fire. And
do we gain any sanity back after being away for a month, or no?
Nope.
Okay. Oops.
And signs of recent activity up here. You see a sort of a blackened pit in the middle of the stones. Looks like fire's been burning there. It's about 10 feet across.
So I'm like, this is where these hill people, since that's the only thing you believe.
Yeah, Joe Bob's like, uh-huh.
Look at the tracks, Joe Bob. You
Says
see any footprints here?
Says I'm inclined to think they're deer tracks, but look a little too
All
big.
right.
Too big for deer. These are definitely deer tracks here, but these ain't deer tracks.
Well, that's what I was telling you before. All right, so Just, I don't think there's any way to prepare you, but
Well, they ain't human, Cosmo.
that's what I was telling you before. Prepare yourself, sir.
All right. So what we're going to do, we're waiting up here. And he's looking off to the north. You can see for miles up here.
Well, let's camouflage ourselves up here and, wait for the show to begin with us being the show stoppers, as it were.
All right. So you guys wait through early afternoon, then through late afternoon. And the sun begins going down in the west. And the shadows of the mountain kind of creep further and further away to the horizon before you. Night is coming.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to see the thin line of smoke down there coming from the area of Harney Ruger's cabin. So a couple more hours pass and the sun goes down. You guys are up here in the dark. It's rather calm though. It's not too windy. It's clear. The stars are out. It's very cold. As you guys wait in the dark, I'm assuming you guys are there's like kind of the spur of rock jutting out of the mountain where these stones are. And then surrounding that are areas of, trees and brush and things like that. So I'm assuming you guys are kind of outside the circle of stones, just within, distance of viewing it. As you guys wait out into the dark, you begin hearing a buzzing sound coming from down below, from down the mountain. And it begins getting louder and louder. And Joe Bob's like, "What's that sound?"
That's our guests arriving.
And
Brace yourself.
Rabbi says, "It sounds like a swarm of bees."
Yep. Get ready, gentlemen.
Shh. Be quiet. We're hunting.
Before too long, you see the shadowy figures, the silhouettes in the moonlight below. 7 of them. 7 of the insect creatures floating out of the sky. And they begin moving about just below you and moving up towards the standing stones, which are about 40 yards away from you guys, kind of below. You guys are up above it, okay? I need everybody to make a sanity check for seeing the scrunched up face crawdads, red all over and all burnt up looking.
Shit. But I've already seen him once, so hopefully that helps.
Yeah, and you took the max, so you're not going to take any more. In Harbor, I believe you've taken the max already from seeing these things.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear, as these things approach the standing stones, you hear Rabbi gasp. And Joe Bob puts his hand over Rabbi's mouth. It looks like Rabbi wants to scream as these things get close and kind of come into the starlight and the moonlight. You get a pretty good look at them.
And I whisper to him, them guns ain't going to be no good against them. We got to throw these acid things at it. So, Varsity Boy,
he says,
you
"What
came
is
up here
it?"
for a reason.
He says, "Ain't no bird." Joe Bob's like, "It ain't no bird. Ain't no bat. What the hell is that, Cosmo?"
It's the thing we got to kill.
"It's as big as a freaking horse." Again, these things are pinkish things, about 5 feet long, crustaceous bodies, vast pairs of dorsal fins and membranous wings, with several sets of articulate limbs. Sort of a convoluted ellipsoid covered with multitudes of very short pink antennae. These things land on their hind legs, all 7 of them, almost at once, near the standing stone. And you see come up out of the darkness where these trees and brush are the figure of Harney Ruger. He's got a big backpack and a big bearskin coat on. And he begins pulling firewood and kindling out of this backpack in the fire pit as he begins stacking wood in the fire pit. And then these creatures are just all kind of buzz, buzz, just kind of a low droning buzz as they're all standing around this stone.
Okay, I say.
Then, suddenly, 3 of them leave. Then, as Harney begins lighting the fire, you start hearing this chanting sound. Almost half-human voices with this awful buzzing sort of voice. And one of them is louder than the others, almost like he's bigger too. Perhaps like the leader of them, maybe. And they begin this chant, and then the chant stops. And then, another 2 of these creatures and Harney himself begin chanting in response. And then the chants kind of go back and forth between 2 groups over the course of a couple of, about a minute here. They seem to be, they have these droning, buzzing voices. And
Can we go ahead and toss our? I'm like, let's throw, guys. This is not going to get any better.
He says, Rabbi says, he's hesitating. Joe Bob says, you mean throwing the acid at him, Cosmo?
Yeah, we got the high ground, boys. Let's make it happen.
He says they don't see us.
Yeah, that's great.
We go down there, they're going to see us.
We're not moving. We're going to throw them straight from here.
No.
Okay, so who's doing what? Both Joe Bob and Rabbi seem very reluctant to do anything right now.
All right.
Joe Bob. I lean into Joe Bob. I was like, you're being paid to be up here. There ain't no question about you. This guy came up here on his own volition, but I think he's going to do what's right.
Rabbi just looks plain scared.
It's okay.
I don't believe you. Yeah, it's like, I don't blame you, son, for being scared. But courage isn't about not being scared. Courage is doing something when you're scared. Are you ready to be courageous?
As the beings hum, they begin to sort of sway into this rhythm. As you're like, come on, let's go do it. Come on, Rabbi. And Joe Bob's like, Rabbi, snap out of it, Rabbi. This hum intensifies, and they begin to sway in rhythm with this chant that they're doing. And you see a blue-white flame beginning to flicker in the circle of stones.
Now's the time, dude. I'm going right as soon as that happens.
Okay.
I'm moving and throwing, man. I'm like, I try to line one up and throw some acid on them.
All right, give me a throw roll.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow. Direct hit. Roll a d8, Kyle. I'm assuming you're throwing at one of the monsters, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, closest one. All right. So the flask of acid is like a perfect arc from your hand right on top of this thing. It hits it, and you see the black smoke begin to come off of its body as it kind of twists and begins twitching around, which gets the others' attention. The chanting, however, continues. Harbor, what are you doing?
I throw one.
Okay, give me a throw roll.
All right. Oh!
Oh yeah, baby! Check that
Nice.
skill.
Wow. Nice rolls. 5 and a 4. All right, roll a d8 for damage.
All right. Just one.
Mm-hmm.
No modifiers.
That's damage 1d8. Yeah, it'll do 1d8 per round for a few rounds. 7.
I get one of the others.
Yeah. So there's this flame an unnatural blue-white flame flickering and intensifying within the circle of stones. And you can see now there seems to be this blast of icy air emanating from this light that has appeared within the fire in the middle of the circle. Joe Bob, let me see if he gets a grip here. Okay, Joe Bob, he's also going to attempt to throw.
Yeah!
Look at that. He extreme excess also.
All
Extreme
right.
success also.
Yes!
3. 8.
Oh!
Wow.
All right.
Yeah!
He hits the same one that you hit, Cosmo. And the thing just kind of explodes into this black, smoky mass as it kind of trails off outside of the ring of stones and falls prone near this, crop of bushes nearby. And the bushes catch on fire, actually.
Hell yeah!
Tater tots are too hard to eat, so just eat the burger first.
All right.
All right, sorry. I'm delivering. I'm making food and delivering while we're killing these things.
The intense blast of icy air from the fire in the middle of the ring of stones reaches you. And when I say cold, I mean like cold like you've never felt. And it's evidenced by the sudden growth of frost on the stones surrounding the fire. You see this thick, grimy frost growing on the stones right before your eyes. At that moment, you begin to hear this sort of grotesque howling sound coming from the sky and from all around you, actually. And you see movement in the sky to the north. It appears... Go ahead.
My boys, use that varsity arm. Now I throw another one.
Go ahead and give me another throw roll.
Oh! Do it! You need another good. Fuck.
Oh, wow. Thank God. A 99.
Okay,
I
Harbor.
did not hit.
Harbor, you can throw again, too.
Please. I fails.
Right.
Come on, varsity boy. We need your arm.
Joe Bob misses. Let's see if Ravi can gather his wits. Oh, he does. All right. He'll get a chance to do it, too. Oh, no.
Varsity arm, baby.
In the sky to the north, you can't help but noticing you see the clouds swirling sort of in this whirlpool pattern. And suddenly, suddenly these gigantic shafts of lightning begin coming out of the sky, hitting the tip, the crest of Stratton Mountain above you. Several hundred feet above you is the crest. And this lightning begins coming out of the sky. It's white and blue and green. And in the sky to the north, you see in the clouds appear strikingly, and it's horrifyingly, a face, almost in the shape of an emaciated skull. And it's immense.
Well, that can't be good.
The blast of icy air now intensifies greatly, and all of you are blown off your feet by this icy, cold air blowing out from the fire in the circle. And you see this grotesque horror, this skull-like white face, plunge out of the northern sky and directly into the middle of the flame, which extinguishes it. And again, the ground begins to shake as this face hits the fire, and you hear this also this awful howl. It's almost deafening. That comes out of the sky, and it passes over you, knocks you to your feet, and continues to ravage down into the valley. Then you see it. You can see, as I said, miles to your east. You kind of sit up, as you guys are all knocked down. You kind of sit up and you look off to the east in a neighboring mountain and see something horrible. Let's see if I can. I'm going to show.
Sounds like a sanity check.
I'm going to actually show you a picture.
Oh.
You see this gigantic figure, all white, almost like an emaciated skeleton-looking thing, as tall as the neighboring mountain. I mean, this thing is like 3 miles away, and that's how big it is. I need everybody to make a sanity check.
I assume this is one we don't want to miss.
Probably.
Probably. Yay! I made it.
All right, Harbor.
Nice.
Yay!
All right, Joe Bob. And
Joe Bob, keeping it together, baby.
Rabby. Kyle, roll a d10. And Harbor, roll a d10.
All right.
Fuck me.
Yikes. That's 10 sanity.
Yeah, I know.
Yikes. That's 8 sanity.
Well, we're going to be insane, Aiden. Oh, good, Joe Bob. Good, Rabby.
Rabby dies.
Rabby got... Both those guys rolled well. We did not.
Let me see what happens here. Aiden, you're not showing up in my deal list. I'm going to drag a card to you to see it for us. All right. So let's see what we got here. Well, it looks like Harbor's going to just faint dead away. And Cosmo gets hysterical. Another one that you can choose to roll on.
Okay.
So here's essentially what happens. You guys lose your minds at the sight of this awesome sight, really, with the lightning and the black holes of eyes that this thing has. That must be 100 yards across, just its eyes. Harbor, you're going to just faint. Too much for you.
All right, 1d4.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Let's see what happens here.
Either you laugh, you cry, you scream, or you...
I'm crying.
Or it's in you.
The angles.
Actually, you rolled a 1. It's so funny. The big joke is on you can't stop laughing maniacally. Manically. So you just point and you begin laughing. It's like a big clown, Cosmo.
It's like a giant clown.
The giant white clown coming to say hello. So I think essentially we should probably end the session here, guys.
Okay. Wow.
This would be a good place.
We dug in deep into the horror tonight, guys.
My goodness, yes. Or as Dr. Phillips would say, good Lord!
Good
Jesus
sweet,
Christ!
Sweet Jesus! Awesome, Sean. Thanks, man.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
That was the best session ever. I have to admit.
Well, good. I'm glad you think so. There's more to come. I'm going to put this hysterical back onto you, Kyle, if I can here. I'm going to keep it on your person so we'll remember which one it was.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys have just witnessed the summoning of Ithaca.
Of Ithaca.
Yeah, just something to chew on. Let's see, hysterical.
Well, Ithaca does not look healthy. Let's start there.
He's very, very famished.
Ithaca might need to get on a different kind of diet.
Yeah.
Not really sure. I mean, lightning's actually striking it. Doesn't really seem that concerned about it.
Yeah, that's just one of his forms.
One of his forms?
You know, as a matter of fact, guys, let me take this one step further here before we call it. So, Harbor, you faint. Cosmo, you completely lose your mind. Rabby and Joe Bob run. You guys eventually, Cosmo, you find yourself, you wake up in the middle of the night on the side of the mountain. Your horse is gone. And you're having trouble remembering exactly what happened, but you start kind of trudging your way down the mountain. Okay. Kind of the same thing with you, Harbor. You wake up later that night, kind of wake up from your fainting attack, and you see the stones. You see the circle of stones nearby, and it's been snowing for a while now. There's this heavy snow. Extremely high winds up this high, so you also start to kind of trudge your way down the mountain. It's very difficult going. You guys spend all night trying to get down off of this mountain in blizzard-like conditions, okay? And when I say blizzard, I mean like 10 times any blizzard that anybody's ever heard of.
Thank God we had super survival gear on.
Yes. The Arctic stuff pays off. But early morning, well, I guess later morning the next day, you start getting down towards the old road and start trudging down the road towards Jennings. The snow is now like 3 feet deep. You get into Jennings and everything is just covered in this thick blanket of snow. The wind is fierce. You can see a couple of buildings bruised. There's holes knocked into them from this blizzard. And eventually, Cosmo, you find your way, and you guys are kind of overlooking the town from the old road. I guess eventually you guys would try to find your way back to Bartley's place.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll end it, where you guys, Cosmo, you arrive a couple of hours before Harbor does. But both of you safely get back to Bartley's place in this blizzard. And,
Okay.
And Harbor, your dad is having like these laughing fits. He seems to think that everything is just so hilarious. I mean, he'll be talking to you seriously one minute, and then you'll say something and he'll just go off laughing hysterically, like you said a joke or something. But essentially what happens during this day, guys, the snow just keeps increasing in intensity. The winds increase in intensity, and the roof of the building is just like creaking. You can hear the wind just tearing shit apart in town. A couple of buildings, are half collapsed. And the cold is unbearable. You've got the stove going like at full blast with you keep throwing wood in there burning, but no matter what you do, it's just freezing cold. And
can I read a book?
Well, you do. You try, but that only lasts about 10 minutes before you have to stop reading because your hands are shaking so badly from the cold.
We need to get the hell out of here.
We can't get out of here now.
So I think the way I'm going to do this actually.
Yes.
Is just kind of short and simple. The blizzard continues to ravage the valley for Jennings is throughout the day and throughout the night. And this is essentially in an unnatural Arctic blizzard. This is something you'd witness, in the Arctic, not in Vermont. And everyone and anyone living in Jennings or on its outskirts die from 3 days of 175 degrees below zero weather.
Do we die?
Yes.
No.
The entire town dies.
Oh my god. Wow.
175 below. And all the roads are blocked, for miles and miles around. I mean, nobody can get there to help these people or anything. It's just the snow drifts are, 80 feet high in some places.
Wow.
Everyone dies. The end.
Yeah. So, great job, though, guys. You guys put up a hell of a fight.
175 below. There ain't no fighting that.
Yeah. I think you just weren't quite quick enough, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, you killed some of the bad guys, for sure.
We did.
Yeah.
But we needed to kill more quicker.
Yeah. So
we got pretty savaged in that first combat with them.
You did, yeah. I mean, you had no choice but to take some time there, But just to kind of give you an idea, I mean, you guys may figure it out on your own, but to give you a general sense of what's going on is these creatures are out here
definitely
doing something, doing something, and all these damn humans keep interfering with what they're doing. So they decided that they just kind of need to do away with the humans in this area.
They needed to phase Jennings out.
Yeah, they phased Jennings out, exactly.
Basically, like a small genocide.
So I wonder if our good friend Mountain Man still made it.
Nah, probably
he
not.
died.
Killed him off.
Yeah, I think Rabby got himself lost up there. He's probably a popsicle somewhere, and
they'll find him later.
Yeah, and if you read the book, you'd find out that Bartley, he went up there, curious about the fires and stuff, just kind of like you guys were, but he fell victim to the icicle baton weapons that these things had. He's also a popsicle up on some snowbank up there somewhere.
Oh, he went back up?
Yep. He couldn't help himself. That's if you read the book, you'd find that out. But
we should have went back.
So that was the Madman, sort of a self-contained
awesome.
scenario, so there is no continuation. So the next time we play, it'll be with new characters in a new place and a new time and a new monster.
Well, I think, what'll happen is over the summer, depending on where Aiden is, I mean, some of the time he's going to be with me.
Yeah.
Maybe we can just add him to our game.
Could be. That's a possibility. I'd have no problem with that. Yeah.
And then with the quick start rules that I've got in the one campaign, I can do something with Aiden on his own here.
Yeah, I would encourage that, dude. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. Well, I mean, it'll be great too, because if I'm going to do it for Sammy and Kike, maybe Ralphie. Geez, Aiden, the next time you come over, maybe we'll just do us all together. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would run the haunting for the first time.
Yeah,
and I'll send you some other PDFs of some of the better, or at least what I consider some of the better, sort of shorter scenarios. That are good for, kind of learning the game. Nothing too deep or serious like the Pits of Bendal Doom or nothing like that.
My God!
Just kind of like 10 pagers kind of a thing. Like I think the Madman is actually really only like 4 or 5 pages. It just gives that general scenario and like So you'll find being the GM for this game, a lot of it is you might have to make up stuff as you go along.
Yeah. No, I'll be good with that.
But yeah, I'll send you some more PDFs and stuff. But yeah, there's no reason not to, dude. I love sitting around the table and playing some RPGs. We did that for a long, long time here. Haven't really done much lately, live play, but because we're kind of into the Roll20 now.
Yeah, we've swept you away. Well, you swept yourself away because you made the offer, but
Yeah.
I took you up on it, and it's kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, but I'm willing to run, one shot or two shot.
Wait, what happened to Harley?
Oh, yeah, like I said, if you read the book, you would know that. I mean, if you read the story, you guys didn't know, but I'm telling you outside of the story, just to give you some background. Bartley wound up going up back on the mountain to investigate these fires up there. He was always the inquisitive type, right? But he got up there on the mountain, encountered these crawdads, and fell victim to their icicle baton weapons, the sparkly icy, foggy ice weapons that they had. So Bartley became a popsicle. He's embedded in some snowbank about halfway up the mountain up there somewhere.
He'll be a fabulous archaeological find someday.
Yeah, as will others. I think Rabbi too wound up dying on the mountain. So.
Also, what is Ithaca? Ithaca?
Yeah, I'll spell it for you. You can Google them.
How do I spell its name?
I just typed it into Roll20 there. Ithaca is a great old one.
Ooh.
An alien. He's an alien monster, alien god from another planet who's been on Earth for a very long time. Still, there are still some human worshippers of Ithaca, but not so much anymore. Doesn't make too many appearances in the history of things, but evidently these crawdad creatures have some affiliation or affinity for Ithaca, and they called him essentially to serve their purpose, per se.
Interesting.
Also known as the Wendigo.
Well, Aiden, I think for our revenge, we should go have some shrimp or something tomorrow.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that's as close as we're gonna get.
Yeah. So before we play again, we'll either get together and roll up some characters, or you guys can roll up a couple of investigators.
Okay.
Or I'd like to do, some more, like I said, one shots or two shots with you guys.
That'd be great.
Or like you said, with summer coming, if you can play with us on Wednesday nights, that's cool too. But even if it's just every now and then on a weekend or something, I'd be up for that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I love it, and I think Aiden loved it too. So
yes, I did.
Cool. That was very cool. There were some cool moments, man, in that story, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
The fight up on the mountain with those things was pretty intense.
Oh my God!
You guys were lucky to come out of that alive.
We did get lucky.
Yeah. You died.
That looked like the end.
Yeah, you kind of died much more spectacularly the way things turned out. You just, how Lovecraftian is that? Like the end of the story, like there's just no escape from Jenny.
Yep.
You can't leave, and you can't even read a book. It's so cold. That's how cold
You're frozen. They find you in the cabin, frozen your book.
Yeah. Yeah, your hands are frozen to your book.
Your eyes wide open.
Yeah, imagine the cleanup. I mean, wow.
Well, it wouldn't be so bad while it's still cold.
Jenning is no more. All right, fellas.
All right, Sean. Thanks, buddy.
You all have a good evening.
We loved it.
Thank you. I did too. See you next time.